In his 6 seasons in New York, he shows that aggressiveness and toughness that would define him as a player, and that would cause a city to embrace him as one of their own. But circumstances took him away and around the baseball world until he finally arrived in the Bronx, where he earned New York a world championship. So today in the city that is his, past and present, David Cone will play a crucial role in deciding the future bragging rights for New York.
Live from the WV11, this is New York Yankees baseball.
From Yankee Stadium in the Bronx, WV11 Sports proudly presents New York Yankees baseball. Today, the Yankees continue their Subway Series as they once again meet the New York Mets. The starting pitchers for today's game are Rick Reed for the Mets and David Cone for the Yankees. Hello, everybody. I'm Bobby Burster along with Rick Cerone, and welcome to New York Yankees baseball. Well, we have game one at the New York Mets shutting out the Yankees 6-0. The Yankees tied the series last night, winning 6-3, so it's 1-1. Bragging rights are certainly on the line today for this big Subway Series, and the Yankees have one of their best going in David Cone.
David Cone, Bobby, has been outstanding all season long. You know what you get when David's on the mound. And we're going to go back in time. Take a look at David Cone in a Met uniform. Dropping down sidearm, getting Ron Gant on the strikeout. A lot of different arm angles from David Cone. This is his last start in a Yankee uniform, strikes out Gary Sheffield. That's still the same hard slider. Cone entered the 9th inning with only 1 hit, but gave up a game-tying single to Moises Alou in the bottom of the 9th with 2 outs. He walked away with a no decision, throwing 105 pitches.
Well, you see his record with the Mets and also the New York Yankees, but he has been absolutely fabulous here at Yankee Stadium with that 13-1 record. We had a chance to talk to him about what his game plan is going to be, and here's what he had to say.
I think ideally you'd like to establish a good fastball in good locations early in the game and then work off of that. Some nights that's not possible. Some nights you don't have your command, you don't have a good fastball, so you got to go to plan B, and that is throw breaking balls earlier in the count and then maybe pitch a little more in a backwards nature.
Well, we've got Rick Reed on the other side opposing David Cone. If you go back to 1994 in the strike, he was one of the replacement players, and David Cone, I don't know if this is going to be an emotional game or not, but he's the American League representative.
Well, a little different situations this year. Rick Reed pitching for the Mets. Yeah, David Cone, the player rep. But on the mound, they're going to have to beat Rick Reed today, the New York Yankees. Reed is not going to overpower you. Sinker, slider, changeup pitcher. But he is 7th in the National League in ERA. Good, slow curveball. They'll have their hands cut out for him today.
A 500 record, 2.60 earned run average. But if he needs a strikeout, he leads his staff with 69 strikeouts. So we've got the bragging rights on the line, and I'll tell you what, it has been a heck of a 2-game series so far. It should be a great one today. Stay with us. We're going to have the Yankees and the Mets coming up right after this. At Yankee Stadium, and it's going to be another capacity crowd for this 3-game series at Yankee Stadium. This is history in making. First time ever that the Yankees and Mets have played a game that means something. And when you have a game that means something, Rick Cerone, who do you go to? David Cone. It couldn't be any better for the Yankees. That may not work out that way, but take a look at Cone's record, 7-3. And he has struck out 120, 2.21 earned run average. Those are right up there in that top 5 in the American League. And he had his best outing against the Florida Marlins a few days ago. Unfortunately, with 2 outs, he gave up that base hit to tie the game. And then the Marlins went on to win it in 12 innings. Let's take a look at the lineup. First of all, for the New York Mets on our McDonald lineup board. And Lance Johnson, spark plug of this Met ball club, will lead it off. He'll be followed by Gilkey in left field. Olerud with that sweet swing at first base will bat third. The switch hitting catcher Todd Hundley will bat in the cleanup spot. Carlos Baerga over from Cleveland will bat 5th and play second base. And the designated hitter for the New York Mets, because they're playing in the American League Park, is Butch Husky. Batting 7th is Matt Franco at third base. Carl Evett, the former Yankee, will be in right field, and then Luis Lopez will bat 9th.
And let's take a look at the Yankees in the field. It'll be Whitten and O'Neill in the outfield. Boggs, Jeter, Soho, Martinez in the infield. Joe Girardi behind the plate for David Cone. And in center field, Curtis is going to have to start playing a little more because Bernie Williams, if you don't know, was placed on the 15-day disabled list yesterday, so he's out for 2 weeks, and be Chad Curtis. And Charlie Hayes, a little injury starting to hit the Yankees, a little hamstring. He's out of the lineup today. Boggs gets to start at third.
Well, a lot of muscle pulls in baseball today, but this will be some kind of game. I mean, game one sure was an exciting game, and a game that meant something. Game two certainly, as the Yankees evened that series up, but now the bragging rights are on the line. Come on.
Oh, baby, this is big. This is big. It feels like Game 6 of the World Series last year, and they feel the same. I was surprised. There's Bobby Valentine, the Mets manager. They worked out at Shea Stadium today. They didn't arrive at the clubhouse until 11:30 for this 1 o'clock ball game. Boy, if I was in uniform, I would have been here 8 o'clock waiting to get this thing started.
And on the other hand, Joe Torre, who got his managerial start with the New York Mets back in the 70s, it will be an emotional time, whether the players will admit it or not. This is an emotional game, and if you got ties like Torre, Valentine, Cone, Gooden, Strawberry, I mean, it's going to be some kind of game. And the fans, this is for the fans. And they have been in it since game one, and they're certainly going to be in it here in game three. We're about ready to get underway. Bobby Mercer along with Rick Cerone, thank you for joining us here on the WB11. And Lance Johnson will take a .290 average to the plate, but no home runs, 13 RBIs. And Johnson swinging at the first pitch and fouls it back and out of play. The umpires this afternoon, John Shulak behind home plate. Mike Everett will be at first base. Tashida at second, and then Dinkinger, the crew chief, will be at third. 68 degrees here at game time. Beautiful afternoon for baseball. And down low, ball one. So that'll leave the count up at 1-1. Lance Johnson in the series is 2 for 9. Just off the disabled list. The last 2 days he's been on that DL with shin splints. Now, he is a spark plug. That's strike 2 there, but I don't know if you could call him the quality leadoff guy because he doesn't really have that kind of patience that you need for your leadoff man.
Yeah, he's not going to work the count. He's going to cut and slash and try to get on base. Last year he did it many times. Led the National League in hits.
Flash down the left field line. If it stays fair, it could be trouble, but nice play by the ball boy.
Let's take a look at David Cone. This is what Lance Johnson is looking at. See the slider, not the real pure dot, not the real good slider from David Cone.
Yeah, if you get that pure slider, it's much tighter rotation in that spin. Swing and a miss, strike 3. So Cone gets it started for the Yankees by striking out Johnson. Put up 1K for Cone.
And you know the crowd's going to be loud. This time he goes with a fastball on the outside part of the plate, and that ball is right by Lance Johnson. Breaking ball had set this fastball up the pitch before. We're going to slow it down. Look at that. I mean, that is an amazing sight. That ball just was on a string to the outside corner.
Great shot from our camera crew. That is something that the hitter sees. And now you get a chance to see it as Gilkey steps in. Outside and low to Gilkey. Gilkey's average is not what the Mets would like for it to be. 210, 7 home runs, 31 RBIs. But he hit a big 2-run home run last night off of David Wells. Now Tony evens the count up 1-1. So Gilkey with all kinds of talent. And the Yankees needed a big game from a pitcher, and they got it from Wells last night. He gets a second chance to redeem himself after what happened in Florida a few days ago. 1-2.
Bobby, that was a nasty slider. Real tight. Late movement. Look at it. Looks like a fastball and then drops away from Bernard Gilkey. No chance to hit it.
In front, pops it up behind home plate, and Girardi runs out of room. And a happy fan, looked like a New York fan. We're about Oh, I say 60 or 70% New Yorkers, New York Yankee fans. They're all New Yorkers, obviously. But there are a lot of Met fans here at Yankee Stadium. That's what makes for this excitement in the stands and also for the players on the field. So Gilkey hanging tough with one out here in the first inning. That's John Olerud, who will hit third. And behind him, that's Joe McIlvaine, who's the GM for the New York Mets, sitting in the stands. So he's got a watchful eye on what's going on. Get out of the way, John. Low 2-2.
You can really tell when Cone's feeling good. He has that little pause in his delivery where he gathers himself and then really uses his legs to drive the ball through the strike zone.
Easy play for Cone. And there's two gone. Well, Gilkey with good power, that's kind of where you want him, way out in front and where he can't drive the ball.
Exactly, Bobby. He just took a little bit more off the breaking ball. Eyes focused on the hitter. Slider down and away, and he just tops it. Watch Gilkey. Committed a little bit too early and just caught it off the end of the bat, right back to Cone.
So with two gone, John Olerud will step in. Olerud batting .316, 11 home runs, 49 RBIs. Olerud in this series 3 for 9 with 3 RBIs. So you like for him to come to the plate with nobody on, especially in scoring position. And quickly it's strike one to Olerud.
Real quiet hands. Not a lot of head movement, not a lot of bat movement. He just reacts to the baseball.
And we talked about some Met fans being here. Quite a few Met fans, as a matter of fact. Inside, that leaving the count up at 1-1.
What a deal for the Mets. Toronto Blue Jays are paying $5 million of John Olerud's salary so he can help them win ball games. And that man right there deserves a lot of credit. That was a steal of a deal.
What happened to the Toronto Blue Jays in giving up Olerud to McIlvaine in the New York Mets? McIlvaine certainly knowing what he was getting in a quality hitter, plus only paying him like $1 million of that $6 million contract. This guy, I mean, he is up at the top in all the offensive categories almost every year. Former American League batting champion. Went around on that one, and it's going to be strike 2, 2 and 2. You explain it to me, Mr. GM.
Well, part of the reason, as we look at that swing at that splitter in the dirt, part of the reason, another look as he's way out in front, sitting on the fastball. Part of the reason was they wanted him to hit too many home runs for Toronto.
Inside corner, strike 3. David Cone is off to a good start, and so are the Yankees. Cone striking out 2, 3 Mets here at the top of the first. And we've got no score with the Yankees coming up here at the bottom. New York Yankees baseball is sponsored by Nobody Beats the Wiz for total home entertainment. Nobody beats the Wiz, we know. And by Toyota and your local Toyota dealer. Toyota, I love what you do for me. And by the owners, managers, and crew who proudly call the McDonald's in your neighborhood my McDonald's. And by the new Dodge, it's about change. Rick Reed will toe the mound for the Mets in this 3-game series, the third game of this 3-game series. A quick look at his record. .500, but he's got a low ERA, 2.60, 48 strikeouts. And when he needs a strikeout, he can get one. As we take a look at the McDonald's lineup for the Yankees, Jeter, Soho, O'Neill, Fielder, Martinez, Boggs. Boggs is at third base. Charlie Hayes bothered by a slight groin pull. Whitten, Curtis, and Girardi.
Look at the Mets in the field. It'll be Johnson and Everett in the outfield. Franco, Lopez, Baerga, Olerud in the infield. Todd Hundley behind the plate, and in left field, Bernard Gilkey. And don't try to run on this guy.
Derek Jeter takes the called strike. Jeter 271, 4 home runs, 32 RBIs. You're talking about Gilkey. He's got 12 assists already. So he's got a gun, and he is accurate with that good arm in left field. Foul backing out of play. So it's now 0-2. So Jeter behind. And last night, and Jeter with a big 2-out double off the left field wall. This really sparked the Yankees. 2 runs come in. Something that the Yankees weren't doing in game 1, getting those big key 2-out base hits with men in scoring position. Strike 3. So we talked about Reed and the strikeouts that he has on his staff. So 1 gone. That'll bring up Sojo.
Jeter must have been looking for the breaking ball, because this is a little sinker right down the middle of the plate. Take a look at it from the low camera. Jeter does that so much. He bends over with that top half to get a better look at the ball, but sometimes I think it influences the umpire and calls a lot more strikes against him.
Jeter having a good series. He's 4 for 10 with those 2 RBIs. And Sojo will step in, batting .307, 1 home run, 12 RBIs. So he has worked his way back into the lineup at second base. And Reed throwing strikes early on.
Well, that's his makeup. He is going to be around the plate. You have to be a little more aggressive, Yankee hitters.
Lined in the left field, and Gilkey with a nice running catch, and there's 2 gone. Boy, Sojo hit that ball hard, but it was right at Gilkey. And that'll bring up Paul O'Neill. O'Neill batting .323, 11 home runs, 47 RBIs, 3 hits and 7 at bats in this 2-game series so far. Well, from a hitter standpoint, you don't mind going up and facing a guy like Reed when you know that he is going to be around the strike zone most of the time, even though he's got that good sinker and curveball. And being a sinker ball pitcher, he's going to have to pitch Paul O'Neill pretty darn good, because Paul likes that ball out over the plate.
The thing about Reed, he can't throw the ball by you. He can't get away with mistakes in the middle of the plate.
Outside ball 2-2-0. Now to O'Neill.
You saw how his sinker just falls down and away from a left-hand batter. If he's going to miss, he's got to miss down and away. He can't leave balls over the middle of the plate.
His last time out, he lost to the Red Sox. Putting up 5 runs on 6 hits. Perfect pitch on the outside corner. Now it's 2-1. Well, whatever interleague play has meant to you, it has meant a lot to baseball, because it has given baseball a shot in the arm, in my own opinion. If you take a look at the crowds around baseball today, especially here in New York, right down Broadway. I guess that's a good term for a pitch here in New York, right down Broadway between the Yanks and the Mets.
It's definitely done what it set out to do, and that was to get more fannies in the seats. Attendance figures around baseball up 10,000 people per game.
Corner, strike 3. Flip of the bat by O'Neill, and one thing the Yankees don't want is O'Neill thrown out of the game. Expressing his views on that strike. If we take another look at it, so like Cone, Reed strikes out 2 and 3 here at the top of the first inning. No score. We'll go the second. Well, we go to the top of the second inning, no score, and O'Neill with a strikeout. This is how it ended, and I don't know, Cerrone. Normally when you do this little job right here, it's what, bye-bye baby.
Look at the bat up in the air. Sometimes that could be an automatic ejection, but that's why John Shulak is one of the best umpires in baseball. He knows the situation. This is a huge ball game. You're going to have some short fuses, but Shulak did the right thing, listened to it, and moved on.
Top of the second, and Todd Hundley takes a called strike. I talk about a huge game. I just mentioned Todd Hundley here, batting .285, 15 home runs. Day game after night game. Hundley's catching, Girardi's catching.
Big game.
Now it's 0-2.
But just that little scene we saw with Shulak, the way he handled that. It was perfect. Guys are going to have a little short fuse. This is a big game for both sides. They don't want to admit it as much.
Saw him do something very classy in Chicago, and Tony Phillips just flipped his lid. Shulock walked away from it. And the check swing foul back and out of play.
I think this is the matchup that I would pay to see today. If I wasn't working, I'd pay my money, sit down, watch Todd Hundley against David Cone. It doesn't get much better than this.
Are you working?
I guess they call this working. 14 of his 15 home runs, Hundley from the left side of the plate.
Another strikeout for Cone. 3 out of 4. Out of the first 4 have been struck out by David Cone so far.
Round 1 to Cone. Showed him the breaking ball in, and now the finishes him off with the splitter down and away. That ball should be illegal. You should not be allowed to have that much movement. We're going to slow it down. Let's see if we can see the tumbling action. Split finger grip. That ball, that's illegal. You shouldn't be allowed to throw a 94-mile-an-hour fastball and then a changeup like that off of it.
Of course, you're kidding. It's not illegal. The only illegal pitch came from Gaylord Perry a long time ago. And this is Carlos Baerga batting .291, 2 home runs, 19 RBIs. Well, you like to have momentum, and certainly Cone has momentum coming off his last start. Foul ball right side. Cone struck out 9 Marlins in 9 innings. And it was just one little pitch with 2 outs that actually ended up costing him the game.
The amazing part of it, only 105 pitches for 9 innings. Usually David Cone, the high pitch count, not able to work into the 9th inning.
And once again, Cone will work in front of a hitter. 1-2. Baerga with some great years in Cleveland. In the last 3 games, only 1 for 11.
You mentioned those 4 years in a row from 93 to 95. Hit over 300, drove in 100 runs, hit right around 20 home runs. He's fallen a little bit, but he's starting to get back his stroke.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. Wow.
You know what David Cone, Bobby, is doing right now? He's working on their emotion. You've seen a lot of bad pitches from Cone that the Met hitters are offering him. This ball just about bounces. Big games like this, hitters tend to get so aggressive, they want to force the issue a little bit too much. And give Cone credit, he's keeping the ball out of the strike zone.
4 strikeouts now for Cone in 5 batters. And this is Butch Husky, the designated hitter, walking through the Met clubhouse today. I heard Husky holler over to Robson, who is their hitting instructor. Hey, who is this Coney guy and what does he throw? Man, this guy better wake up if he wants to know who David Cone is and what does he throw.
Well, especially nowadays with so much of the videotape use, you can take a look at everything that's going on. You can see a pitcher before you face him.
Well, he wanted to know what he throws, and so they take the baseball out of the game and ask for a new baseball.
The thing about David, he can throw so many pitches from so many different angles.
And there's a pitch on the outside corner to even the count up at 1-1. So Husky, one of the young players for the Mets. And this has been exciting for them, getting a chance to come to Yankee Stadium, play against the world champions. And the breaking ball popped up right side. Soho puts it away in another easy inning for the Yankees and David Cone. We've had 6 hitters for the New York Mets, and Cone has struck out 4. Bottom of the 2nd coming up. Back at Yankee Stadium, you see number 37. That is for Casey Stengel in Monument Park. As we take another look at a New York Yankee manager and a great one, Casey Stengel. I wonder what he would have had to say about it. But on the other hand, The amazing Mets first manager was Casey Stengel. So he moves from the Yankees to the Mets. 4 seasons as a Mets manager, but 12 seasons as a Yankees manager. I think he did a little bit better in the pinstripes. Of course, when you have that expansion ball club, it takes a little while to get acclimated, get your troops all built up to win a world championship. But we are in the 1997 season, and it's Cecil Fielder popping up the first pitch back and out of play. I wonder, well, Casey, he always was a great one to talk to. I wonder what in the heck he would have had to say about this interleague play.
Can you imagine if he was here for this series and the interviews? They have set up manager interview rooms and the quotes that he would have came up with.
Well, it would be interesting. You can only imagine if you knew Casey Stengel. Foul left side. So Fielder now behind 0-2 is both Rick Reed and David Cone. And people shading themselves from the bright sunshine here at Yankee Stadium. Now I guess there's a little bit of a light drizzle falling now. That was wishful thinking on my part, obviously. You know, I really am. I'm rain shocked after coming back from Miami.
It's amazing. Every time on WB11, the rain delays or the 15-inning ball games.
0-2 count to Fielder. Middle of this Yankee lineup coming up here in the second.
Bobby, I would think this would be, even though he's down 0-2 in the count, an interesting matchup for Cecil Fielder, because Rick Reed, he throws his fastball about 83 to 85 miles an hour, so he's not going to throw the ball by you. You would think Cecil, who's had problems with the fastball up in the strike zone, should be able to handle Reed.
Breaking ball misses outside, 1-2. Well, Cecil has yet to really get it going as far as the long ball is concerned, and he's getting his bat only halfway through the strike zone, it appears to me. Another breaking pitch missing outside. If you're going to hit home runs, you got to have that bat head out in front of the plate when you make contact, not even with you.
Well, that's why this matchup may work for Cecil's favor. Pretty good low ball hitter, Rick Reed, low ball pitcher.
Another foul. Cecil only 1 for 7 in this series. Tino Martinez waiting on deck for the Yankees. No score here in the bottom of the second inning. That one got even with him down the right field line and over towards the stand. Rollerwood runs out of room.
You got to go back and get some more chalk. That was a little pool shot for Cecil. He gets way out in front on the changeup, hits it off the end of the bat. It just seems like Cecil's been behind the fastball this year and just out in front of the off-speed pitches. You're kind of caught in between. Look at the changeup, the movement. Go back, get some new chalk on that pool stick.
Reed tries the inside corner, but just barely misses. Now it's 3-2. First time Reed has gone to a 3-2 count on a Yankee hitter. Very calm and collected, Reed is. Very focused. And a 3-2 breaking ball off the glove of Franco. And Cecil will be on. That's the second night in a row that Franco has misplayed a ball at third base. One got underneath his leg last night.
He has not gotten a lot of leather on the ball. Take a look at this changeup swing again. He gets out a little bit in front. His head was in good position that time. Let's look at it from low home, and little tumbling action on the changeup. He commits just a hair early and rolls it over to third base.
Well, you could see that Fielder hit the ball on top, which creates that overspin, and that's probably what fooled Franco at third. Anyway, the Yankees with a runner on, first runner in this game, and this is Tino Martinez. Now, Tino in a bit of a slump. Still batting .294, 21 home runs, 61 RBIs, but he is 0 for his last 17. This will be a good time for Tino to break out of it. Inside, 1-1.
It's an extended slump. Remember how great a start that Tino had. 3 months, counting spring training, he was on fire.
Another pitch inside, and it's 2-1.
Boy, from center field, you can really see what Rick Reed is trying to do. Little sinker down and away. He'll still throw his 83, 85 mile an hour fastball on the inside part of the plate to lefties just to keep them honest and keep them off of the ball away. And it's like a clinic. David Cone can overpower you. Rick Reed has to finesse you. And Bobby, I really think the softer you throw for a pitcher, the more you have to pitch inside.
And that pitch fouled off to the left side. Why is that?
Well, when you have an overpowering fastball like Cone, hitters tend to cheat on you as a hitter. That means get out in front a little bit because they're so geared up for the fastball. A guy like Reed, they're so patient. They know he can't throw the ball by you, so they're going to wait longer. It gives you better opportunities to jam those hitters.
2 balls, 2 strikes to Martinez. Nobody out here in the bottom of the second. And inside, now it's ball 3 for the second hitter in a row. Reed has gone to a 3-2 count. Martinez with Boggs waiting on deck. Tino has said that in this 0 for 17 slump that he's in, that the pitches that he was hitting early on, he was hitting them out of the ballpark, hitting them hard. Now he's fouling them off, which he did down the left field line.
Doesn't that come down to just a little timing?
Oh, just where they say inches, this is really inches. A little traffic sign going on at first base. So Olerud will play a bit behind Cecil. Cecil takes off, and the pitch popped up down the left field line. Gilkey over towards the line, makes the catch, and fielder will return to first. 1 gone.
It was a nice job of pitching by Rick Reed. Showed Tino Martinez 3 balls off the plate inside just to keep him off that ball away. But when he had to throw a strike, he went down and away.
Wade Boggs, who really wasn't scheduled to play today, but because of Charlie Hayes' injury last night, Boggs gets a start. And Boggs was held out of the lineup against some right-handed pitching for the New York Mets, simply because Charlie Hayes had great records, career records against both pitchers. And a strike on the outside corner.
And today would have been no different. Charlie Hayes' career against Rick Reed, 10 for 18 with 2 home runs. So they're missing that bat in the lineup today.
Joe Torre said that Hayes could play in an emergency, but the Yankees wisely want to keep him out to keep him from injuring it any worse than what it is.
It was funny. I happened to be in the clubhouse just as the lineup went on the door, and Charlie was right behind me. He said, "Oh, I could be in there today." He wants to be in this game.
Outside corner for a called strike. Now it's 1-2. So Hayes will just watch it from the Yankee bench in the beginning of this game anyway. So the Yankees have some injuries that they have to deal with. As we mentioned, Bernie Williams has been placed on the DL. Scott Poe's called up in his place. Just missing outside 2-2. So Reed looks like that he has found a pattern against Boggs to stay right on that corner on the outside.
Well, that's what a lot of teams like to do against Boggs. Pitch him away, but play him away. And that means shade your outfielders over towards left center.
Good swing by Boggs, but fouls it out of play.
Take a look inside Todd Hundley. Little fastball down and away. That sinker.
Slaps it to Franco. Fire back to Olerud in time as a 5-4-3 double play. So Franco, who made the error to allow Fielder to reach first base, starts the double play. Reed gets out of it. They go to the top of the third. Bragging rights on the line. Still no score. Back at the stadium so far here in the top of the third. It's been a pitcher's duel. Let's take a look at our Delta Airlines upcoming schedule. And the Yankees move to Cleveland to play the Indians. We'll have it here on the WB11 starting on Friday at 7 o'clock, and then Fox takes over on Saturday at 1 o'clock. Back here on the WB11 Sunday at 1 o'clock. Hope you will be with us as the Yankees move in to play the powerful Cleveland Indians. Now the Yankees go back to the American League style of baseball.
Go back to the American League, and then I guess the next interleague game will be when the Atlanta Braves come back here to Yankee Stadium.
Well, that should be something too. Matt Franco leads it off.
How are you going to top this series? This series,
well, you're not.
I mean, really, for this city, they've been waiting for this for a long, long time.
Lifted down the left field line. Long run for Whitten, and he gets there, and that's in fair territory. So nice play by Whitten, and there's one gone.
Well, we're going to take a look at David Cohn's strikeouts. This should be the fastball on the outside part of the plate. Now Olerud freezes him on a fastball inside. Hundley, split finger, illegal pitch. Baerga, another split finger. It just shows you that he is locating his pitches extremely well early in the ball game.
With one gone, this will bring up Carl Everett, former #1 draft pick by the Yankees. Moved on to Florida in that expansion draft, and then the Mets picked him up. 7 home runs, 24 RBIs. One ball, 1 strike count to Everett. Well, the temperature 68 degrees, and David Cohn for most of the part this year, except for in Miami too, hit hard. But look at Luis Sojo, almost in right field. Well, in fact, he was in right field to make that play. 2 gone.
Nice range by Sojo. Hard ground ball off the bat of Everett into right field for the assist.
So if you're going to pitch them that way, you might as well play them that way, and that's certainly what Sojo did. But talking about Cohn and the weather and the temperature, he has problems with the temperature being 50 degrees and below. And this is Lopez batting and fouling the first pitch back on a play. And in Miami, of course, he gets the warm temperature, and he has his best outing of the season.
He seems like he's getting stronger and stronger as this season is worn on. He has worked more than 6 innings in every start this season.
Up high for a ball, 1-1.
In our opening, we talked about, you know what you're going to get when Cohn is on the mound. He's going to give you innings. He's going to work hard. You see Girardi, little changeup sign.
And a swing and a miss, 1-2 count on Lopez.
Bobby, remember we talked about Rick Reed, the softer you throw, more you have to pitch inside. That was a good example, the changeup. Hitters tend to cheat a little bit more on David Cohn to get the bat head out, and that way they swung right over the top of that changeup.
Let's split screen. You see what Cohn is looking at. And what Lopez got. It was down low, 2-2. Lopez, actually, he's about the 4th shortstop because the Mets have a couple of their #1 shortstops on the DL. Ordonez and also Manny Alexander. And Lopez has done a nice job, though, in this series. Fouled out of play. Boy, you love to come to the stadium, and I know the players do. They love to come to the stadium and see the stands full of fans. It just brings you up to another level, especially a day game after a night game. You're a little draggy. How could you be draggy on an afternoon like this?
Not today. Rubber match of a series. Look at the numbers. the 6th and 7th largest crowds in the 22-year history.
Chopper right side, easy play for Martinez. What a job David Cone has done here with 9 hitters. 9 up, 9 gone for the New York Mets. No scores. We move into the bottom of the 3rd. Well, Rick Reed has finally finished his warm-up tosses. No score here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. And Reed, a former replacement player, and signed with the New York Mets as a 6-year minor league free agent. And we've got a pitcher's duel on our hands early on in this ball game as Whitten steps in, swinging and fouling the first pitch out of play. So it's the bottom 3 now for the Yankees coming up. Following Whitten will be Curtis and then Girardi. Low for a ball. Now, I don't think it's no surprise because Bobby Valentine, Bob Apodaca, who's the pitching coach, they know Rick Reed. They had him in the minor leagues. They know his makeup. They know what kind of stuff he has. And he's getting a shot to pitch. 4-3 and 1 gone.
And Bobby, you talk about pitching. He really worked over Tino Martinez. He's got 2 areas that he's going to work. He's going to work down and away, and he's going to show balls on the inside part of the plate. That's his 2 areas. He's going to work you down. He's going to stay out of the middle of the plate. Look at it. I mean, right there. Now show him inside. Show him inside again. Back away. Inside again. Oh, what a good job of pitching by Rick Reed. I mean, that is textbook. And it just shows you, Bobby, the other thing, you don't have to overpower hitters. If you keep it, I mean, they make it simple. Greg Maddux makes it real simple. He keeps it out of the middle of the plate and off of the fat part of the bat.
Fouled into the Met dugout. Now it's 1-1 on Chad Curtis. 1 gone. Well, that was a good segment there because even the ball that looked like it was down the middle of the plate and he was a little bit behind on, after showing that ball inside, made him more alert to that, and it probably he was behind the count because of it. High and deep to left field. Gilkey going back, and he will not get it. Curtis with a home run, and the Yankees lead it 1-0. Chad Curtis's first home run of the Yankees comes in a huge game in his Subway Series.
Boy, first home run couldn't come at a bigger time for Chad Curtis.
And this brings up Girardi. Flies down to right field line, and Everett will not catch up with it. It's going to be a foul ball. There is not a whole lot of room down to right field line. Let's take another look at that Curtis home run.
Hanging breaking ball.
Hello.
Dave Malicki Monday night got away with some hangers, but Rick Reed could not get away with that hanger. And watch Chad Curtis sees it, reloads, and drives it to left field.
And a good effort by Gilkey, just missing it just above our nobody beats the whiz sign in left field. And the Yankees lead it 1-0. Surprisingly, there's only 1 hit in the game, and you just saw it. It was the home run. Now it's a 1-1 count to Girardi. That stimulated the Yankee fans. Two now on Girardi.
Speaking of Bob Apodaca, the pitching coach for the Mets, they said he would probably use more curveballs today because of the success that Malecki had on Monday night. So in other words,
different type of curveball.
Different curveball. Yeah, Malecki has that knuckle curveball that has a little hump in it. It goes up and then down.
And it was a little harder too.
And a little harder fastball to back up the curveball with Malecki on Monday night.
Back up the middle. Look at that. Hello. Ooh. He said, I don't think I saw that ball. Maybe added another word in.
Something like that.
But he remembers what happened to Reynoso last night.
That's exactly right, Bobby. But he gets himself in great fielding position. Look at. Ball wasn't hit as hard as Luis Sojo ball from last night. But watch the position he gets himself in. Good fielding position. Glove right there.
Well, that'll wake you up if you are half asleep on the mound. And certainly Reed is not half asleep. But a nice play by him. Girardi is gone, and Yankees have now batted around on Reed. Well, this is Jeter's first trip. He struck out back in the first inning. Yankees lead it 1-0 on the Curtis home run. Jeter has now struck out 58 times.
Notice Jeter the last 3, 4, 5 ball games he's been stepping out of the batter's box and practice swings with one hand. And Todd Hundley caught one off the toe. Todd, I don't miss those. I do not miss those. Let's look at it. They love running these replays. Catchers getting those foul balls off the inner thigh. They love it. They love to torture the catchers. But Todd is strong. 150 ball games he played in last year. That's a lot behind the plate.
You got to be really banged up to get Hundley out of there. Reed ties Jeter up inside, and it's a 1-2 count now with 2 gone here in the bottom of the third. Bobby Burster along with Rick Cerone here on the WB11.
See, that's that little move I was talking about, Bobby. He's choking up on the bat and really making an effort, almost like an axe, to chop down on the ball.
Down on it. For a couple of reasons. Maybe to try to keep that front shoulder in. Lines this one into center field. So Jeter inside outs that good hard sinker for a base hit with 2 outs. Look for him to maybe take off.
Chopping the wood. Stay above the baseball. Ball down in the strike zone, and he just inside outs it, like Bobby said. Sinker down and in. Instead of trying to pull it, you'd hit a little ground ball to short. He fights it off and hits it in the right center field.
That goes along with that practice swing he was taking.
Yeah, look at it. Look at it. I mean,
yeah,
he's chopping down. Great camera work. Because that's that little motion he's been practicing. And you know the other thing it does too? It forces you to use your left arm. Because to me, that's where you really pull that bat through the hitting area.
What if you're a left-handed hitter?
Then you'd use your right hand.
Okay.
It's your bottom hand. You're an old batting instructor. You know that. You had all those type of drills we used to practice. Never worked for me. Never helped me.
You got to have talent to work with, though. Sojo takes one up high inside for a ball.
Wouldn't surprise me to see Louis try to take a shot between first and second. If you try to pull sinkers, you'll hit a lot of ground balls to short. But if you try to stay inside the ball and drive it the other way, see the little hole between first and second? Sojo may take a shot there.
Inside for a ball. So Reed has fallen behind 2-0. One of the very few times that he has been behind in the count. So a good pitch now coming up for Sojo. Jeter with good speed on it first. Now it's 2-1. Well, the Yankees with 3 second basemen on this roster, but I think it's imminent for Mariano Duncan, who had requested a trade. Of course, the Yankees wouldn't want to make a trade before today's ball game and leave Torrey a little bit shorthanded with his roster. Mariano obviously still active and could play, but I think it's one of those times now that Mariano may not find Cleveland when the Yankees end up to play the Indians. Deep for Sojo. Not deep enough, though. Gilkey moves back on the warning track. And Reed looks a little bit stunned because of Chad Curtis's first home run as the New York Yankees The longest Yankee home run homestand drought in 5 games. So Curtis puts the Yankees ahead 1-0 as we head to the 4th. Top of the 4th inning, Yankees in front of the Mets 1-0 on that Curtis home run. Don't miss Hit Comedy Wednesday with special guest host In Vogue all night tonight on the WB. First at 8, tune in for the Dubba Twin Trouble on Sister Sister. And the kids go on strike on the Parenthood. A Star Is Almost Born later on the Jamie Foxx show. And a surprise reunion backfires on the weigh-ins. It's all part of In Vogue night tonight on the WB11. So we got a lot happening tonight here on the WB11, but it's really happening at the stadium right now as Cone takes a 1-0 lead here in the 4th as Lance Johnson leads it off. So now, Cerrone, the Mets have batted around on Cone. Will they make the adjustment, or can they?
It's hard to when a pitcher is on top of his game, Bobby. You know that. Sometimes you got to tip your hat to him, and the only way you get to a pitcher like David Cone is when he starts making mistakes. Maybe when fatigue sets in, he starts getting the ball up in the strike zone.
Now it's 2-1 on Johnson.
The other way you can get to a pitcher like Cone is when he falls behind. 2-0 fastball. Lance Johnson just took down the middle of the plate.
High fly ball in his shallow center. And there's one gone.
All right, we're going to have an interesting look. Look at this. David Cone three-way as a Met. Watch the windup. Look at this. With the Blue Jays, a little bit lower, his hands over his head. And now as a Yankee. Hands really don't get to the top of his head anymore. Part of that to do with that aneurysm he suffered last year. And right here, look at it as a Met, right all the way back. As a Blue Jay, still back, and as a Yankee, just to the front of the cap. But he's been so good for so long because of, you know, he's not a physically strong guy, but he gets such great leg drive. That's where he gets his velocity from.
And he knows how to pitch. 0-1 count on Gilkey. Just missing outside. That leaves the count up at 1-1. Cone's one of those pitchers who normally throws a lot of pitches and will get behind the count, as you mentioned, and he gets into trouble. But he somehow knows how to get himself out of trouble, so you don't really worry that much if you're a manager. I mean, he's got the ability to strike out the side or get that big strikeout in a crucial situation. As we take a look at our Toyota box score for the New York Mets. How about that? How about this row right there? Not a whole lot of hits. In fact, there's no hits here in the 4th.
Oh, the hesitation, Bobby. Did you see Louis Tiant in his prime? That was serious hesitation.
I think he brought that out as a specialty pitch for Gary Sheffield in Florida. Another little hesitation, and this is a fly ball into right field. So two men out here in the 4th.
Well, you mentioned about Cone, how he can get himself out of tough jams. Well, that's because he's got 3 better than average major league pitches, whereas a Rick Reed may not be able to do the same thing.
The sweet swinging Olerud will step in, and Reed, who's behind 1-0, will look on, and he will hope that the Met offense will get started soon against David Cone. Well, if you go to the books and you talk about how to teach a hitter, the fundamentals, and certainly Cone knows this, you go to John Olerud because he does everything almost perfectly. Not a whole lot of movement in his swing and his stride. It's very cool, calm, and collected. Hands are in good position most of the time.
Yeah, he almost looks like he should be sipping iced tea by the pool. That's how relaxed he is. No tension in that swing.
Certainly his approach to hitting goes along with his personality too, because he's a very quiet, relaxed young man. Very nice guy too. So the little bit behind that one as he fouls it to the left side.
16th player in Major League history to go right from the college campus to the big leagues. And that's what Bobby's talking about. Very little movement, head stays still, and he drives through the ball. Look at the front foot. Just picks it up, puts it down, so he stays behind the ball all the time.
Behind home plate and out of play. So it's 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Came right off of the Washington State University campus to the big leagues, to the Blue Jays. In the last couple of years, the Blue Jays wanted him to hit too many home runs. He'll hit home runs by mistake, but he will hit the ball from line to line and hit for a higher average.
Hey, if you get a guy that can hit 330, 340, he hit 18 home runs last night for the Blue Jays, or last year. Fans coming alive. And they thought that was a strike, so we've got about 56,000 umpires in the stadium today, along with Shulock.
Yeah, and Shulock's the only one that counts. Cone has been doing that more often. That little Greg Maddux fastball on the inside part of the plate, he's hoping the left-handers give up on it.
3-2, down low, ball 4. So Cone issues the first base runner for the New York Mets here in the 4th with 2 outs. That'll bring up Todd Hundley. Hundley 55 strikeouts this year. You talked about his power from the left side more so from the right side, and I've always believed that if you're a true right-hander, your right side is going to be your strong side, so you should have more power from the left side, since your right side is the brace side. Strike 1 to Hundley.
What a year Todd put together last year. Breakout year. 41 home runs. More than any other catcher in Major League history. And I had an opportunity to see him break in when I was with the Mets in '91. It's great to watch guys, especially young catchers, come up and develop. And he's really developed in the big leagues.
Yeah, he broke Campanella's all-time record for home runs. Look at that pitch. Woo. And Hundley was thinking about the right field stands on that swing.
One guy in the lineup you're not going to let beat you. If he does, he's going to have to hit that split finger a long way. Cone knows it. Going to pitch very carefully to Todd Hundley.
Fans want a strikeout. And they get it. Cone went to the split finger to take Hundley down with 1 man on. Yankee fans on their feet, and they are happy, at least through 4. We go to the bottom of the 4th, and the Yankees lead it 1-0. New York Yankees baseball is brought to you by your New York Jeep and Eagle dealer. There's only one Jeep, and it's only at your Tri-State Jeep and Eagle dealer. And by Nobody Beats the Wiz for total home entertainment. Nobody beats the Wiz, we know. And by Delta, proudly sponsored by the 62,000 professionals at Delta Airlines. Boy, David Cone has been perfect so far as the Yankees lead it 1-0, and it looks like normally you don't see Cone with that serious look on his face like that. It looks like he's got a mission, and no doubt he's on it right at this present time as Paul O'Neill leads it off against the Mets and Rick Reed here in the bottom of the 4th. Bobby Mercer along with Rick Cerone welcome the Yankees baseball here on the WB11. Foul back, that'll play, and because of the goodness of John Shulock, Paul O'Neill is still in this game. I thought it was an automatic $100 fine or something
if you throw
your helmet,
if you throw
bat or whatever.
But I mean, he knows the situation here. This is a huge game for the city of New York. It goes deeper than just a June 18th ball game.
Off the end of the bat into shallow center. Johnson puts it away, and there's one down.
Well, just as that pitch was being delivered, check the screen. Check the screen somewhere over Paul's left shoulder. Whoa, baby! Wouldn't you like to see that be the size of the baseball? Almost thought we were at Fenway Park. How many times have we seen the beach balls coming out on the field in Fenway?
Well, a very neutral beach ball here at the stadium. Red, white, and blue. All-American. As Fielder steps in, he's 0 for 1. High and deep to right field. Everett back on the warning track, and it's gone. Cecil goes the opposite way for his 7th home run, and the Yankees lead it 2-0. Well, that's what the Yankees have been looking for. That's not what Bobby Valentine is looking for, but the Yankees want Cecil to get that long ball started.
I mentioned in the second inning, I thought it would be a good matchup for Cecil today. Low ball hitter against a low ball pitcher.
That brings up Martinez.
Against a guy he really doesn't have to cheat to hit. Look at that ball down in the strike zone, and Cecil just hammers it to right field for a home run.
Sharply hit, but a nice play by Olerud as he catches it on the fly. So Tino lines out to Olerud. There's 2 gone, and Cecil Fielder, who needs to pick up the slack because of Bernie Williams out on the disabled list. The Yankee long ball has been lacking in this offensive lineup for about 5 or 6 days until this afternoon.
Watch Cecil again. He's going to go out after a ball down in the strike zone. Fastball away, and he just took it the other way.
And Boggs takes one outside. Boggs 0 for 1. Foul back and out of play. Now it's 1-1. In 89 innings, Rick Reed has given up now 9 home runs. Been a long ball today that has hurt him. Yankees have 3 hits, but 2 of the 3 have been home runs. 2-1 to Boggs with 2 outs here in the 4th.
I guess Rick Reed would say that was a pretty good pitch to Cecil Fielder. You have to tip your hat. He beat you that time.
Boggs lines one in the gap right field. Nobody will catch up with this, but off of the wall. Everett quickly over to bring it back into the infield. A 2-out double for Wade Boggs.
Well, you like to see that from Boggs. 2 outs, nobody on base. Go for the extra base hit. Gets a fastball down in the strike zone and hammers it off the right center field wall. These balls are down in the strike zone again, and that's where pitchers are taught to throw down, make mistakes down. But a lot more hitters are good low ball hitters nowadays. Look at that.
I was really surprised because Everett was playing him awfully shallow in right field. So Boggs in scoring position for Mark Whitten. And a nice stop by Hundley. Whitten 0 for 1. He grounded out back in the 3rd inning.
As you look at Whitten's season numbers, but add almost 100 points to that. 366 when runners are in scoring position. He seems like he gets big hit after big hit, especially with 2 outs.
He's got Boggs in scoring position. And it's inside, and it's 2-0 now to Whitten. As we take a look at our Toyota box score, the home runs by Fielder, he's 1 for 2, and also Chad Curtis, who's only been to the plate one time, he's on deck. They're going to pitch to Curtis.
Yeah, once they fell behind, once you fall behind Witten, Bobby Valentine knows the numbers, especially with runners in scoring position with Witten. That was one of those, I'm going to try to go after him the first 2 pitches. If I miss, no big deal. The base is open. I'll go after Curtis.
So Curtis, who hit his first home run as a Yankee. I don't know if Bobby Valentine knows Chad Curtis's career record against Rick Reed coming into this game, batting .429, and he's already hit a home run. So what do you do?
Pick your poison.
Yeah, I guess so.
You just hope Rick Reed makes better pitches against Curtis this at bat.
2 men on now, 2 outs here in the 4th. Starts him off with a strike. It was the curveball, the hanging curve. Now you see that he's up that career record to 500, 4 for 8. Focused pitcher, according to Bobby Valentine, and Rick Reed hangs on to that one a little bit too long and misses outside. 1-1. When a pitcher tries to turn it back over and run it on the outside corner, a lot of times they will hang on a little bit too long, which causes the ball to go wide and outside. Out there again, and it's 2-1.
Well, I think this is a little bit what you were talking about, Bobby. Watch, he's going to try to just pick that outside part of the plate. Rotation of the sinker. You see those seams coming down and into a right-hand batter. Just misses away.
He caught the plate. It was just a little bit too low. And a little chopper foul now. Stayed out there again, and Curtis tried to pull that outside pitch.
He has always had, he's always had a big swing, Chad Curtis. For a guy that runs well, he had over 20 steals in '95. You would expect him to be more of a contact line drive hitter. But to me, he's always had a big swing trying to leave the yard.
Well, you talked about 1995. That was a breakout year for him when he hit 20 home runs. It stole 20 bases for the Tigers.
Certain times you got to cut down, especially with 2 strikes. Try to take what the pitcher's going to give you. He's been working away. Drive him to right center field.
Hit hard. But Franco comes up with it to force the runner at second. So Curtis did his job, and Cecil Fielder puts the Yankees 1 more run up with his 7th home run as he goes the opposite way. Yankees lead it 2-0 on 2 Yankee home runs. You got your top of the 5th inning, Yankees 2, Mets nothing. No hits for the Mets as Cone pitches here in the 5th. Cone with 58 total pitches so far. And listen to this, only 20 balls, but 38 strikes in that 58 total pitch count, and 7 of 11 first pitch strikes.
Yeah, I think that's the key, Bobby. You get ahead of hitters, makes Cone a little nastier. What is that? Oh, fans. Oh, they're Yankee fans. I got you. Yankee fans.
And I guess that would be to tell Dave Cone to fan the Mets. We did the play on words there, I guess. I don't know.
You talk about intelligent fans.
Yeah, no kidding. Top of the 5th inning, Carlos Baerga swings at the first pitch, so strike 1 to Baerga.
Trying to sneak in David Cone's glove and see how he sets his fingers to throw the either split finger, the breaking ball, or the fastball. A couple of pitchers used to tip it off. Dave Stewart comes to mind. Let's see. Little split grip.
Another swing, 0-2.
That was good. You saw it over the top of his head. His fingers were just a little bit of apart to throw the breaking ball. Now, if they're even further apart, that would be the split finger fastball.
And a lot of times the pitcher won't grab the hold of the ball until right at the last minute.
He does a lot of thinking with his fingers.
And the breaking ball down low.
I'm going to look at the rotation of the breaking ball. Let's see if we find that little dot. It's getting a little tighter now. A little tighter than earlier in the ball.
That was a bigger breaking ball, too.
A little more off speed.
The tighter the spin, the bigger the break. And that was a split finger. And Baerga is down for the second time. 6 strikeouts now for Cone. Wow.
Little tumbling action. But that was great because you got right inside his glove on 3 pitches in a row. You saw the grip for the breaking ball and then the wider fingers for the split finger.
You're getting some exceptional shots from our director, Bill Webb, showing you exactly what this hitter is looking at.
Yeah, how about
we've slowed it down where we can actually see it, but from a hitter, I mean, you got to react in a split second to it.
Yeah, how about those guys taking those pictures with the cameras? Look at the grip. Oh, baby, slow it down anymore. Look at it.
I wish I'd have had Webb around when I went to the plate. Would have been a better hitter. A lot of times I knew what was coming, though, and I couldn't hit it. 0-1 count to Husky. 1 down here in the 5th. Yankees in front 2-0. Out of play right side, 0-2. Take a look at our interleague play on our Wiz scoreboard. And the Tigers in front of the Marlins 6-2. That in the 4th inning at Tiger Stadium. Not a whole lot going on, but Minnesota leading Pittsburgh 5-1. A little sidearm action, but Cone misses outside. It's 1-2.
I think coming into today, interleague play, American League teams have won 39. National League teams have won 32. So it's 31. Correct myself. 31 the National League has won.
Husky trying to hold up. He went too far. Strikeout number 7. Check that number 8 now for Cone.
Took some more off of this, almost like a curveball, and Husky missed it by 2 feet. Look at where the bat is in relation to the ball. He has done this a little more often in this ball game, changing speed on the breaking ball. And all he's doing is messing the hitter's timing up.
Well, what you get a chance to see there is the arm angle on that breaking ball along with that spin. And Husky wanting to know who Cone was before today's ball game. He has found out. Franco with a called strike. Cone now has struck out 3 in a row. Last guy in the 4th and the first 2 men up here in the 5th. Now he's in front of Franco 0-2.
Yeah, there it is. The battle of the leagues. The American League 39 and 31 so far. Lower ERA. Pitchers average. Yeah, right here. The pitchers. Where's the DH in those NL parks?
Look at the fans on their feet. They know what Cone is doing here. They know what the Yankees are doing, and they love it. Normally you get that kind of action in the 9th inning.
This crowd is into it. You mentioned his arm angle and changing looks to the hitter. Let's see if he gets on top to the left-hander. Right through.
Inside corner, strike 3. 8 strikeouts for David Cone, and he struck out 4 in a row. No hits for the Mets. Yankees lead it 2-0. Bottom of the 5th inning, New York leads it. New York Yankees, that is, over the Mets 2-0. And that's Stottlemyre, pitching coach for the Yankees, talking to Shulock, who's behind home plate this afternoon. And he's been out there talking to Shulock for quite some time.
Yeah, Bobby, I don't know. What could it be? That was a pretty long discussion.
Well, there you have it. Let's go, New York. One side the Mets, one side the Yankees. So Stottlemyre with his conversation with Shulock, it's over. And the Yankees come to bat here in the 5th inning, led off by Joe Girardi. Girardi 0 for 1, hit the ball hard, back up the middle, and gloved nicely by Reed back in the 3rd. Good breaking ball, swung on a miss. Now it's 1-1. We gave you David Cohn's total pitch count. This is Rick Reed. 63 total pitches, 39 strikes, and 25 balls. And 8 of 17 first pitches are strikes. So both pitchers are in pretty good control as far as that strike zone is concerned. Look at those Ks on that scorecard. High and deep down the right field line, and it will be a fair ball. It's a home run. It is a home run for Joe Girardi. According to Mike Everett, the first base umpire, he gave the home run call. Now we're going to have a huge argument because I think Everett is complaining that maybe a fan interfered.
How familiar to last year's American League Championship Series. Bobby Valentine hot. Young umpire Mike Everett. And look, it almost looks like Everett is saying that he had the ball and that somebody took it away from me. We're going to get a look at it now. Girardi hits the fastball up and away down the right field line. Everett drifts over. Oh, the only thing that maybe they're arguing fair or foul ball, but that nobody interfered. Everett didn't have a chance to make that play. Bobby Valentine, a lot shorter discussion than we had last year with Tony Tarasco.
Well, maybe because they're going to call Girardi back out and claim it to be a foul ball. I don't know. If they claim this thing to be a foul ball after this discussion, that's going to be beyond me. I can't see how Shulock could have a better view than Everett. He was halfway down the line, the right field line. He's the one that made the call. Valentine looked like that.
They're not going to reverse a call. You can't do that.
Now wait a minute now.
There is no way you can reverse a home run call, can you?
See if we can see it here.
I mean, let's slow it down and see what happens. But you see I think that's the ball up in the top, right up. We're trying to find it. All right, here's the baseball. Here's the ball right now. There's the ball. Let's follow the flight of the ball. We're going to slow it down, and if the ball disappears, which it did, it sure looked like the ball disappeared. That means it's a fair ball, because if you see the ball the entire way, would mean then it would be a foul ball, because being fair, the pole would block the flight of the ball. I don't know what they're going to do now.
Well, they're bringing Girardi back out here. They're calling it a foul ball. How about that? I think I've seen it all now, especially after a play we had here that was reversed against the Yankees against Kansas City. How about that?
How can Mike Everett, who's running down the line, who's got the best view of the play, call it fair, signal home run, and then Shulock and Denkinger, who's the third base umpire, is going to call it foul? Well, I don't understand this.
Well, they just had a discussion and overruled the first base umpire, the guy that made the call. That's what they did.
See, the one thing that we failed to mention, there are 10 games, interleague games going on in the American League ballparks right now, 10 of them. That means they've had to call up umpires that are normally in AAA working. They had to add 8 new umpires just for this 3-game series around American League ballparks.
Well, so far, that's 2 runs that Mike Everett has cost the Yankees. That's the umpire we're talking about. Now Girardi grounds out to Baerga. 1 gone. Well, you remember last night, Charlie Hayes at second base. When Everett was the second base umpire, the ball was hit into the gap left field, and Hayes had a collision with Everett because he was moving out of position, and that's the reason that Charlie is on the bench, because he pulled his groin coming around third and got thrown out at home. That cost the Yankees a run.
Every time you think you've seen everything in baseball, you see something different.
If I was Joe Girardi, I wouldn't be a happy camper, I can tell you that.
That's a home run. That's in the scorecard. It's already in the books, and it's taken away from him. I would like to know which of the umpires overruled it. The only one I could think of is John Shulock, because he's the home plate
Well, the
umpire.
one I can think of is Dinkinger, who is a crew chief, Don Dinkinger, but he's over at third. The only thing that with Girardi batting, ball one Girardi, is that once they huddle and they get a unanimous decision that they saw it otherwise.
Yeah, but who had the best view?
Well, Everett had the best
Everett
view.
was the closest there. He had the best view of anybody.
It's his call.
Yeah.
It's his call.
So, I mean, that is, to me, the other 3 umpires are showing up a rookie umpire, and you don't like to do that.
Nevertheless, it's a home run taken away from Girardi.
And Bobby, what has it done? It has shocked everybody. 56,000 people here now are quiet.
Yeah, 56,000 plus. I'm in shock, too. In fact, I don't know if I can do the game anymore. No, I'm just kidding. Scooter used to say that
Yeah,
to me.
Scooter did that to me a couple of times.
2-1 to Jeter, 1 away here in the 5th inning. So Reed throws out Jeter. Now there's 2 gone.
How about Girardi? Hits the ball down the line. He thinks it's a home run, and he's running around the base. Then you have to go back and hit. It's a little ground ball to second, but it's really, there's Mike Everett. He's been in the PCL, the Pacific Coast League, which is AAA baseball, for the last 2.5 years. And I mentioned the 10 games in American League ballparks. The National League actually had to bring up 3 additional crews over the weekend. That's 4 umpires in every crew, and they've mixed in 12 new umpires in the National League.
And Soho takes a ball. Umpires are like anybody else. They are human. They make mistakes, but most of the time when they have to make that split decision call, they always stick together. They know they make mistakes, and but most of the time they are right.
Well, I don't know who
I'm
could have
surprised
seen
that they got together and overruled that. I really am.
I don't know who could have seen it any clearer than third base. The ball is by Modell's now. Here it is right here, and it's going. Now, I think if you still see the pole, if you can see the ball the entire way, and it's hard from that shot with all the white shirts in the background, that would mean it would be a foul ball.
But look where the fan picked the ball up. Foul down the third baseline.
See, to me, when they have the foul pole, if you lose sight of the baseball, which I did with my eyes there, that means the foul pole blocks the ball as it goes around it, being a fair ball. In other words, it would be, you'd lose sight. All of a sudden, the ball be coming, you lose sight, and then you'd pick it up here. That's because the foul pole is blocking the ball. That's what I saw. That means it's a fair ball.
I think you saw it about as good as the other 3 umpires did. Nevertheless, it's 3-2. But anyway, how in the world can a foul pole be in fair territory?
Oh, now you got me.
Soho lines one up the middle for a base hit. So a 2-out single by Soho. That'll bring O'Neill to the plate.
I think more than anything, okay, a run was taken off the board for the Yankees. More than anything, you got to get this crowd back into it. They are shocked because there was another run on the scoreboard that's been taken off, and what they would need here is a Paul O'Neill bomb, maybe in the upper deck, just to get this crowd going again.
O'Neill has struck out and flied out. And Reed misses outside. Reed with that same pattern of pitching to the Yankee left-handers. Outside, outside, and then all of a sudden he'll bust one in on the inside.
The ball inside pretty much just for effect. Doesn't want to throw strikes on the inside part of the plate.
There he goes outside again, and it's over for a called strike, so it's 1-1 to O'Neill.
Bobby, you're right. What he wants to do, he wants to work here, away, and just show you off the plate inside for effect to set up that ball away.
Outside ball.
What he's been doing, especially behind the count, going to the changeup. Not a lot of difference in the motion. That's what makes it so effective.
Soho on at first, and a 2-1 count to O'Neill. 2 gone here in the 5th. 2 wide outside this time, and the count will be in the favor of O'Neill. 3-1. Reed has walked only 1. That was an intentional walk to Mark Whitten back in the 4th. And that will be a second walk of the game, and that'll put 2 men on. And Cecil Fielder will get a chance to hit with 2 gone. Trying to be a little bit too careful on that 3-1 pitch. Didn't want to give in to O'Neill. And O'Neill was patient enough to let it go.
Reed's got to be perfect. He can't afford to make mistakes in the middle of the plate. Really didn't make a mistake to Cecil Fielder in the 4th inning. Cecil went out and hit a fastball down and away for a home run to right field.
Bob Apodaca, the pitching coach for the Mets, what a job he has done with this pitching staff. They're without 4 of their quality arms. They're on the DL. And Cecil takes the ball. In the 4th inning, Cecil Fielder, there's no doubt about this one. It's Cecil's 7th home run as he goes the opposite way. No foul pole to deal with on that home run. That put the Yankees up 2-0. Off-speed pitch swung on and missed. Strike 1, 1-1.
See, Bobby, the one thing I know, you're an ex-hitter. I'm an ex-hitter. When you have hit a home run off a pitcher on a fastball, you got to look at least 1 or 2 strikes for that breaking ball. And Reed, 2 breaking balls in a row, and Cecil hasn't looked for it. As you look at Ricardo Jordan warming up in the Mets bullpen.
Yeah, he shows him the fastball, but you know, it's a show-me fastball is exactly what that was.
I mean, if you hit a good pitch off a pitcher and you've hit it hard, the next at bat you got to be sitting on something else, because the catchers and the pitchers both have short memories.
That breaking ball again. The appeal, and Everett gives a safe sign. No overrule on that.
Went to the curveball. Cecil out in front. An emphatic no swing.
Way out in front. 3-1 count. Hit hard. Lopez in the hole, and he played Fielder perfectly. So he takes a base hit away. The Yankees don't score. It was a controversial play here in the 5th, but we go to the 6th, and the Yankees lead it 2-0. Yankees 2, Mets nothing here in the top of the 6th inning. And Girardi with a conversation before he came out to take the warm-up tosses from David Cone from Stottlemyre. Now, the only thing I can think of, you know, we saw Stottlemyre with Shulock in a long conversation the inning before. Maybe Stottlemyre is saying to Girardi, okay, that was a controversial play that took a home run away from me, but don't upset Shulock. Let Cone continue to keep that momentum going. That's the only thing I can think of.
Yeah, your #1 priority now is getting Cone through this ball game, and they're still talking about it. I went down. I tried to talk to Rick Cerrone, the PR director, to find out who overruled that play, and everybody was saying it was the third base umpire, thinking
Wayne Zaprucci. And this is Carl Everett leading off here in the 6th inning, fouling the first pitch back and out of play. He had the best view, you know. He's at third base.
Take a look at Cone's 3 strikeouts in the 5th. Split finger, then the curveball to Husky. And then it froze Matt Franco on the fastball inside. I mean, that's why he's so effective. 3 different pitches for strikeouts.
And Everett trying to bunt his way on with no hits here in the 6th inning. It's 0-2. Cone with 8 strikeouts, and he has struck out 4 in a row.
We're going to look at the signs and then the grip. Little slider, grip. Just misses down. That's the whole process. The catcher gives you the sign. Now the pitcher has time to set it in his glove before he commits. Cone has been using more curveballs today.
Struck him out. 9 strikeouts for Cone and 5 in a row.
Goes back to the split finger. Down and away from Everett. Carries his hands very low. Boy, he missed that by a good foot. And that's the reason you're committing a little bit earlier against David Cone, because you know in the back of your mind he's got the 90-plus fastball.
And this is Lopez, the shortstop, and the fastball up high. Well, a very emotional day. Obviously, I think mixed emotions for these fans here, knowing David Cone being the great Met that he was, now here with the New York Yankees. They're probably torn on who they're actually rooting for. And that's foul back and out of play.
Yeah, I guess if there's one Yankee that you don't mind pitching well, it'll be an ex-Met David Cone, maybe even a Doc Gooden. We'll take another look at Joe Girardi's signs. Little change it. Nope. See, he's suggesting. He went to a curveball.
Lopez with a quick bat inside, pulls it foul.
See, that was good though, Bobby. You saw how the catcher suggests what pitch to throw, and David has the final say. And let's look at the rotation on the slow curveball.
Fans are really into the game now. High and inside. That just shows you Cone, you know, after Lopez hit the fastball inside, pulled it foul, he went right back in there again, only he just came up a little bit more. He said, look, I see you got a quick bat low and inside. How about high and inside? Just missing.
And that's that fastball Cone has used today. The fastball starts it off the plate inside to the left-hand hitters, and he comes back over the inside part of the plate. Just didn't get the call. Another fastball in.
And he misses inside. So ball 4, and that'll be the second base runner for the Mets. John Olerud walked back in the 4th inning. And now this walk here in the 5th to Lopez. That'll bring up Johnson.
Didn't miss by much on those 2 fastballs on the inside part of the plate.
Lopez with decent speed at first, but the Mets are down 2-0 with 1 out here in the 6th. To this batter, 80 pitches now thrown by Cone. Fallen behind 2-0 to Johnson. But overall in this game, Cone on 1-2 count where he's been in front. He's had that count 9 times on these Mets batters.
A little better jobs by the last 2 hitters. A little more patience that we're seeing from the Mets. Let Cone try to get himself into trouble.
And that's foul back and out of play on the 2-0 pitch. Johnson a little bit behind on that fastball. He's the kind of guy, if you're going to pitch somebody up in the strike zone, you'd want to pitch him up because he doesn't have that good power. Let him hit it out to that spacious center field section here at Yankee Stadium.
He is a rarity, though, Bobby. Lance Johnson, excellent high ball hitter for a left-hand hitter. He can really get on top of the ball and drive little line drives to left center field, right center field.
Led the National League in hits last year. And another pitch foul back and out of play.
You look at David Cone. He is a choir boy for 4 days of the week. And on day 5, when he pitches, he becomes a bullfighter. It's unbelievable.
Good stop by Girardi on that split finger. Now it's 3-2. We're in the 6th inning. The fans are up and concentrating on every pitch out of the hand of Cone. Runner takes off. Pitch is swung on. A nice 3-1 put out by the Yankees. 2 gone, but Lopez moves into scoring position.
Went to a 3-2 split finger. Got to have an awful lot of confidence to throw that pitch. And he got away with it. Ball moved down out of the strike zone. He got the ground ball from Lance Johnson.
Well, you know, you would think that on a 3-2 that's a good pitch because it looks more like, from a hitter standpoint, it looks like a fastball, and it's coming, and normally it's in that good height depth position, and then all of a sudden the bottom just falls out of it. 2 gone, and this is Bernard Gilkey. Strike 1 to Gilkey. Good pitch by Cone.
Very tough hitter with men in scoring position. Last year 406 for the season. That's how you drive in 110 runs. Well, they got back into it in a hurry. This is a hard slider from David Cone. When I talk about getting back into it, I'm talking about the fans. They are excited about this one.
Show me fastball up high and outside.
I read some quotes from John Franco, the bullpen ace of the Mets, saying that the Met fans started that chant with 2 strikes with Doc Gooden on the mound. I got to tell old Johnny Franco, did he remember about Louisiana Lightning? There it is, battle for New York.
This is what it's all about. And this is the bragging rights game. Pitch foul back on a play. We spent so much time saying bragging rights for New York. I mean, this is a regular season game. This goes towards the standings both for the Mets and the Yankees. And the Mets losing last night with that 37-31 record, lose 6.5 games of Atlanta. But you have Met fans, you have Yankee fans, and this is what's important to them. This is their season. Outside corner, strike 3. So Gilkey strikes out number 10 for David Cone, and high five all around Yankee Stadium, and they are loving it. Bottom of the 6th coming up for the Yankees. Yankees lead it 2-0. Well, back to the stadium, electricity all through Yankee Stadium now. Yankees lead it 2-0. And this Yankee bench, there's not a guy in the clubhouse. They're out for this game. And there's excitement on every pitch. Bottom of the 6th inning, Martinez, Boggs, and Whitten, the scheduled 3 for the Yankees. And Tino 0 for 2 so far against Rick Reed. Down low for a ball. 0 for 19 now, Martinez is, so he is in a bit of a slump, obviously. And then when there is a good pitch, he's looking at it. And
just activated today, Juan Acevedo was activated from AAA.
Popped him up. And behind home plate, Hundley did a little circling, but that is one of the toughest plays for the catcher, is that ball that's back behind home plate.
You notice Todd was looking for some help. The only problem was John Olerud was too far away, Matt Franco too far. But you're right, Bobby, the ball right over home plate is the toughest ball to catch as a catcher.
So Boggs will move up with 1 out. He's 1 for 2 with a 2-out double his last time up. Yankees 2, Mets nothing. Bobby Mercer along with Rick Cerrone here on the WB11. Thanks for joining us. This has been some kind of exciting series. Just what it was billed to be.
Yeah, I don't know if it gets much better than this.
How many Mayor's Trophy games did you play in?
I believe 2 of them. 82 and 83.
I played in 8. 1-1 count to Boggs.
Because, you know, they discontinued him for a while.
Yeah, they did.
A couple of years, the Yankees and Mets didn't even play in spring training games.
Up high, ball 2-2-1. Yeah, you know, but in the Mayor's Trophy game, it was one of those, your stars played about 3 or 4 innings, and then they were gone. Didn't mean anything, and all the money went to charity, and it was for New York and charity. That's foul back and out of play.
But it was a different ball game. I remember just even spring training games when you had to play the Mets. And it was guys getting sent out to AAA if they messed up. And there was a lot of importance put on that 2-game series.
There was no regular charity ball game. Count is 3-2 now on Boggs with 1 gone here in the 6th. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Good fastball by Reed, striking out Boggs, and there's 2 away.
You very rarely see this, a fastball in the strike zone that Boggs swings through. For some reason this year, just hitting .230 against right-handed pitching. He's actually hitting 140 points higher against left-handed pitchers this year.
Mark Whitten will step in with 2 gone, and he'll take 1 outside and low. Whitten officially 0 for 1. He grounded out in the 3rd, then was intentionally walked with 2 outs in the 4th with first base open. The Yankees' only runs have come from the long ball. Outside corner from a call strike.
And if you had a look at it, Rick Reed probably wouldn't want both pitches back. made a good pitch to Cecil Fielder down and away, and he hit a home run to right. He definitely would want that curveball to Curtis over.
Yeah, he hung that.
That was a hanging curveball, but really only 1 or 2 mistakes by Rick Reed today.
Yeah, but look at David Cone in his last outing. 2 outs, 1 little mistake to Lou, and cost him the game too. 1-2 count outside. So far, he's made no mistakes in this game.
You think he's into this ball game?
He is. I've never seen him with a more serious look in my life on his face. He's like all the fans. He's into every pitch, every hit. What do you think about that in a game such as this? It's so important. It's terrible for the concession stands because there's nobody out there buying anything.
Nobody
wants watching the game.
That's it. Nobody wants to leave.
And rightfully so.
3 consecutive sellouts.
On deck is Curtis. Into right field. Everett on the warning track. He looks up and leaps and makes the catch. Nice play by Carl Everett in right field to take an extra base hit away from Whit. And you saw the pat of the glove by Rick Reed. He's happy about that. Yankees gone. Here in the 6th, we go to the 7th. Yankees 2, Mets nothing. Back at Yankee Stadium at the top of the 7th inning. Let's flash back a little bit. Back last year as David Cone took a ball game into the 7th inning. His first time back September the 3rd, 1996 after surgery. And into the 7th inning against the Oakland A's, a no-hitter. And Bernie with a spectacular play to take a home run away there. What a debut he made coming back after that serious surgery. But during a pitch count that they had him on, no matter whether he had a no-hitter or not, they had to bring him out of the ball game. But what a debut.
Yeah, finished the game 7 innings, no hits in his return to a Yankee uniform. Big lift for the Yankees.
Talk about big games and emotion. He's always up to the challenge. They appealed, and Dinkinger down at third base said no. Olerud did not go around, so it's a 1-ball, 1-strike count to Olerud, who's 0 for 1. Cone tries inside but misses. I mean, he is just missing inside.
And I think earlier in the ball game that was a strike. The ball just on the inside part of the plate or off. You look, no hits through 6 for David Cone.
Lots of zeros on that board. Deep into the gap right field. This is going to be the hit that the Mets have been looking for. Olerud with a leadoff double here in the 7th inning. So the no-hitter broken up here in the 7th. And I'm not so sure if those aren't just congratulations for the no-hitter through 7th inning or because the Mets are glad that they finally got a hit.
I think it's an appreciation for the performance they're seeing from David Cone. That time the fastball gets out over the plate. Olerud extends for the double. 2 pitches that didn't go his way prior to that on the inside part of the plate.
And that'll bring up Todd Hundley. Nobody out. And that pitch outside.
And you can't get too... I'm going to take a look. There it is again over the outside part of the plate. Cone's reaction. Still only a 2-0 ball game.
Swing and a miss. Strike 1, 1-1.
Bobby, forget about the 1 hit you just gave up. You're in this game 2-0. You got a dangerous hitter in Hundley, so you can't really let your mind wander. Get back in the situation at hand, and that's trying to get Todd Hundley out.
foul to the right side. Hundley has struck out his only 2 times up. And now Cone has that 1-2 count again in this game. 11 times that Cone has taken the count 1-2 and a Met hitter.
What a big pitch. 1-1 counts. Difference between a hitter hitting 2-1. You feel like you're in control, whereas if the pitcher gets ahead 1-2, now you're a little more defensive.
Been getting Hundley out with that split-fingered fastball. We'll see what he throws here. Hundley shows that he's got some quickness inside. Greg McMichael now warming up for the Mets.
That's the thing with Hundley, too. He's right on top of the plate as you look at the Toyota box score. Only hit John Olerud's double to lead off this 7th inning. Right on top of the plate.
Swing and a miss on a foot finger. Hundley is down for the 3rd time. Strikeout number 11 for Cone.
And all 3 strikeouts on Hundley have been the ball split fingered down and out of the strike zone. It looks like a fastball, but he gets in the chase set. Watch the tumbling action. We slow it down. That ball is in the strike zone until the last minute. It's what makes it so hard for a hitter.
This will bring up Baerga. Hundley has struck out 3 times. Olerud's down at 2nd with the only base hit so far. And Baerga, a 2-strike victim. He has struck out twice.
Todd Hundley's probably saying to himself, geez, the only time I faced Cone was in spring training. And he didn't throw me that split finger. Little different situations today.
Cone struck out 9 in his last outing against Florida. Chopper foul. So when you're trying to pull that split finger from the left side, when it's going down and away, you got to roll the wrist over, and normally you'll either hit a little ground ball right side or you'll pull it foul if you get out in front.
See, and the only thing, you can't look for that pitch off David Cone because his fastball is 90 plus. That's the difference.
Gets away from Girardi. So Olerud will move to 3rd. So the Mets have a runner at 3rd base with less than 2 outs.
Slider down right towards that back ankle. Joe never got the glove on the ground. So he's throwing that slider towards that back foot. Right towards Baerga's back foot. This time Girardi a little slow moving out there. Or in there.
Has scored a wild pitch to allow Olerud to move to 3rd. It's a 2-ball, 1-strike count to Baerga. Hit on the ground right side. Gloved nicely by Martinez, and the lead throw to Cone. Baerga is gone, but the Mets score. Olerud from 3rd, that is, and it's a 2-1 Yankee lead.
That's the difference on that wild pitch. Olerud gets to 3rd base. Great job by Tino Martinez. And now the toss leading Cone to 1st base. Same angle. Ball down in the strike zone. Tino full extension, and then the lead pass to David Cone. Split finger, exactly what you were talking about. Try to pull that ball, you're going to hit ground balls and pull ground balls. That's what Baerga did.
Butch Husky, the designated hitter, steps in. Lost one high and fairly deep into right field. O'Neill in the middle of the warning track, and the Mets are gone. But David Cone giving up the leadoff double, and the Mets do something with it as they get on the board here in the 7th. 2-1 Yankees lead it. Well, back at Yankee Stadium, and immediately over is Mel Stottlemyre, the pitching coach. And it looks like that Cone very disappointed that he gave up that base hit. But I'll tell you what, it's a heck of a ball game so far, and he's done a heck of a job. If you look back at his record, he's thrown 3 one-hitters. And this game is not over with. The Yankees leading 2-1, and a nail-biter is in progress at the moment.
New pitcher for the Mets will be Juan Acevedo. 14 starts in AAA Norfolk. Good live fastball. This guy throws hard with a hard slider. Was picked up from the Colorado Rockies by the Mets last year. And he is a guy that you just got to control in the strike zone. Gets a little keyed up. They really like his arm. Hey, Jay Horowitz, the PR director. There's Jay Horowitz.
One of your favorite guys.
Yeah, there he is. Look at Jay right here. Jay Horowitz. He's going to laugh. Jay and I go back. He was at Fairleigh Dickinson University.
I'll tell you what, if you can't like Jay Horowitz, you can't like anybody. Everybody in baseball, Yankees or Mets in New York, love Jay Horowitz. And shame on you for what you did.
No.
We won't get into that, obviously. We're going to get into the bottom of the 7th inning. Chad Curtis leading off for the Yankees, followed by Girardi and then Jeter. And Curtis not wasting any time from Acevedo. Let's go back to the 3rd inning. And Chad Curtis against Reed, a hanging breaking ball. Bye-bye, baby. First home run for Chad Curtis as a New York Yankee. He put them out in front 1-0. That breaking ball you were talking about, along with that good fastball that he has.
Everything hard. He does have a split finger fastball that he uses for his strikeout pitch. He almost peaks with the glove. Watch, peaks right over the top of the glove.
Talk about tunnel vision. Maybe that's just a purpose for taking aim. I don't know.
He is focused. He wants to just peek right over that glove at the hitter.
Don't swing until you see the whites of their eyes. Good swing by Curtis.
And Juan Acevedo's not going to let you see the white. He's got the cap way down. Jim Cott would love that. Focus is right on the target at all times.
If I'm a pitching coach, I would like that too. I don't like pitchers to lose sight of the strike zone, the hitter. But, you know, you see a lot of guys that look up in the air, they'll look down, they'll look to the side, and they lose sight of the strike zone before they deliver the ball, and all of a sudden they got to quickly focus back again before they release it. But Tom Seaver and the focus he had when he pitched for the Mets, Hall of Famer, former broadcaster on the WB11. Chopper moves foul. So the count remains 1-2 on Curtis.
Yeah, Seaver, what I remember, that back leg getting awful dirty. The way he used to drop and drive. Back knee, I mean, his uniform used to be torn up. And he used to throw some high cheese.
Such a smooth delivery. Mechanically, he was perfect. That's the reason that he was able to last so long. No arm injuries. Strike 3, so Curtis strikes out, leading off here in the 7th. So Joe Girardi will step in his last at bat. Kind of a controversial situation for him. So he ends up being 0 for 2 coming up here in the 7th. Could have been 1 for 2 with a home run and an RBI. The Yankees would have been one more run out in front. Let's take a look at it.
Go back to the 5th inning. High fastball from Rick Reed. Joe Girardi hits it down the right field line. Originally called a home run. Girardi went all the way around the bases, and then it was reversed. And we believe by Don Denkinger, the third base crew chief.
Inside and low ball 3. Girardi taking all away. So we've got a ball game. Yankees 2, the Mets 1. Bobby Mercer along with Rick Cerrone. So what Acevedo did with Chad Curtis, he couldn't do with Girardi. Bob Apodaca, he has done a heck of a job with his pitching staff, and the 4 guys, Pulsipher and Izzy and Wilson and Harnish, all on the disabled list. Those were 4 arms that he was counting on, and they haven't been anywhere inside in 1997. They should start getting some of those young arms back towards the end of the year, but right now they're having to go with Reynoso, Reed, and Malicki. What a job he did a couple of nights ago, leading off this 3-game series. They've done something a little bit new in their physical training for the pitching staff. They took a book out of the Atlanta Braves and started it this year. They want them to throw their starting pitchers to throw 2 times in between starts.
The more you throw,
and I like that.
Yeah, I do too. More you throw, the better control that you'll have each time you go out there on the mound.
Plus, you build up more arm strength, and you're stronger. This is Jeter.
And you can't knock the success. Today, another quality start for their starters. 48. That leads the National League. We're talking about the Atlanta Braves. They have more quality starts from the New York Mets starters than the Atlanta Braves.
If you go back a few years ago, when they were in the 4-man rotation, the starting pitcher used to throw batting practice before his next start. Down low for a ball. So it's 2-1 on Jeter. 1 out here in the bottom of the 7th.
Good situation. 2-1 count on Jeter. Could put Girardi in motion. This is where a pitcher has to throw a strike. The only problem is Acevedo has tendency to be a little wild.
Girardi takes off. The hit and run is on. It's executed perfectly down the right field line. And the throw back to second, not in time. Yankees have runners at second and third, and only 1 gone.
Just talked about the hit and run, Bobby, and they worked it. Good confidence by Torre, and Jeter handles a tough pitch. Little inside out. That's what you like to see Jeter do, and he hits it down the right field line. But it took a gamble by Torre to start Girardi in motion and put the hit and run on because of the wildness by Acevedo.
Takes a lot of nerve to do that too when you know the guy's not going to be around.
Yeah.
Or if you feel like he's not going to be around the strike zone. Well, something interesting for Bobby Valentine to be thinking about with Luis Sojo coming up. Sojo can handle the bat. He knows he's a definite threat for a squeeze play maybe. And a suicide squeeze, that is. Paul O'Neill on deck, so they will pitch to Sojo, bring the infield in. And the Yankees looking to pick up some more runs. Sojo looking to make it 5-1 on that swing.
Got a fastball down the middle of the plate, just swung through it. Acevedo has that type of stuff. Overpowering with the fastball and the slider, and a good split finger. If you're Todd Hundley, you got to watch out for it. It's almost a forkball. Series of signs. Bobby, sometimes you can almost tell the pitch by the way the catcher sets up. If he stays closed like he did there after he gave the sign, you know it's a fastball. If he gets real wide with his legs, he's almost preparing to block a ball in the dirt.
Good point. Also, the catcher will move inside and outside a lot of times. That will tell you what pitch is coming to. 1 ball, 1 strike count for Sojo. Threw that fastball by him. Now it's 1-2.
Again, the hard forkball that Acevedo throws. You're Hundley, you still can call it in this situation. You got to be prepared to block it. The only problem is he's thrown 2 fastballs right by Luis Sojo. Maybe you don't want to speed up the hitter's bat. That's all the thinking process that goes into calling that pitch. Those taps really are just to tell him what location, where he wants to go with the ball. Hundley a lot wider this time.
Soho somehow stays alive on that pitch. Got Soho, who will be trying to knock the run in from third. Bobby Valentine pacing in the Met dugout. Yankees lead it 2-1. And the Yankees with that lead having a little bit more fun on their side. You can see the infield is in. They want to shut that run down if they can. He went for the high one and he strikes him out. So Soho strikes out with runners at second and third.
Only one off-speed pitch. That was the pitch before that Soho fouled off, and this was a high fastball. Just said, here it is, try to hit it. Now you would think maybe they'll take the bat out of Paul O'Neill's hand. Another look at the fastball up in the strike zone that Soho swings through.
So we'll see what protection does in the lineup. O'Neill, the left-handed batter, he's 0 for 2. First base is open. Cecil Fielder on deck. We'll see what the Mets want to do. And it looks like they're going to pitch to Paul O'Neill. And the first pitch in there for a called strike. I would say that this has got to be advantage New York.
You would think so. You would think so. Good batting O'Neill. But that fastball had some giddy up on it.
Fouls that one back. Now it's 0-2. Acevedo. If he gets out of this, we'll get out of a big jam here in the 7th. And our Toyota box score. Yankees with 6 base hits and 2 runs. 2 home runs. That put the Yankees ahead. Now we got some Met fans standing with an 0-2 count to O'Neill with 2 outs here in the 7th.
Look at O'Neill's numbers with runners in scoring position this year. 393. So far, Acevedo's just gone with fastballs. I'm telling you, he is not holding back.
Inside and low. 2-2.
It's amazing to hear how many Met fans are at Yankee Stadium these 3 games. Watch the fastball inside, just misses. Hundley wanted it, Acevedo wanted it, but Shulock saw it inside.
Inside and low, and a nice stop by Hundley. Acevedo with runners at third. That's Girardi, and Jeter down at second with 2 gone. This is now where the advantage was for Paul O'Neill pitching to him. Acevedo for the Yankees. I think it's kind of a somewhat disadvantage for Paul O'Neill now with a 3-2 count. First base open.
Yeah, he doesn't know.
You never know what he's going to throw.
Is he going to throw him the fork ball, or is he going to go with the fastball?
And he'll be trying to make the perfect pitch on him. He came right in with heat, and O'Neill a little bit behind as he fouls it back and out of play. Well, nothing like being thrown right into the heat of things. Valentine, Joe Torre, but Acevedo being recalled today and finds himself in this game. Yankees lead it 2-1 in the 7th inning. Talk about not sitting around too long before you get to play. Determination on both bases. Jams him. Acevedo to Olerud, and the Yankees are gone, and a nice job done by the youngster getting out of this jam in the 7th inning. Yankee fans happy, so are the Mets fans after that inning. Yankees lead it 2-1. Stadium, New York 2, the Mets 1. And David Cone pitches here in the 8th inning, but in the 7th inning, it was John Olerud leading off in the 7th as he slams a double into the gap right center field. The only hit so far given up by David Cone. And I think he knew when he let that pitch go that he was disappointed, but quality hitter, so those are the types of things that happen. It's so difficult to pitch a no-hitter. And you can see Nelson and Stanton now warming up for the Yankees. Bottom 3 coming up for the Mets: Franco, Everett, and Lopez. First pitch swinging and lines it into right field for a base hit. O'Neill quickly over the throw back to second. Will not be in time. It's off the mark. The leadoff double by Franco gets the Mets started here in the 8th inning.
Didn't waste much time. Jumped all over a first pitch breaking ball. Matt Franco rifled it into right field. You see Girardi sitting outside. Breaking ball winds up down and in. Franco hammers it to right. David Cone's reaction. One of the few bad pitches David Cone has made today.
We got a pinch runner now. Beezer will go in to run for Franco. And this will bring up Carl Everett. Nobody out here in the 8th. Wide and outside.
When we know the difference, Bobby, between last year and this year for the Yankees, it has been this 8th inning, 8th and 9th innings of ball games. They're 30-10. They have lost 10 ball games with a lead after 7 innings. That is the biggest difference.
Big at bat for Everett. And he fouls it back and out of play. I mean that Everett needs to do the job here, and the job that he needs to do if he doesn't get a base hit is to move that runner up to third, and I guess it's just not time for Mariano. Well, it's only the 8th inning, so Stanton and Nelson are up.
I know earlier in the year Joe had Rivera up in the 8th inning. You have an off day tomorrow. They've lost an awful lot of ball games late in games.
But also the Yankee pen has improved tremendously, especially with Stanton and Nelson. And Everett this time decides that he wants to square around and try to bunt him over. But it's inside, ball 2, 2-1.
You're referring to Everett trying to advance the runner, Beezer to third base, make a productive out here, try to pull the ball. And you're a little more apt to do that when you get ahead in the count. You look at Beezer at second base.
3 balls and a strike.
It has been a nightmarish inning. The 8th inning all year long for the Yankees.
Where Stottlemyre had that smile on his face, the smile is gone. This is a high fly ball to Chad Curtis. Beezer is tagging. Curtis comes up with it, and Beezer goes back to second. So Everett doesn't do the job, and there's one gone.
We're going to take a look at the sequence to Carl. Fastball misses away, fouls off the fastball, trying to go inside. He attempted to bunt. 2-1 count, 3-1 count. Fastball middle out, not deep enough to center field. Cone, even though he fell behind 3-1, didn't give him a cookie down the middle of the plate.
And you saw where those pitches were. Now Cone knew what he was trying to do. Away, 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 and he wanted him to hit the ball the opposite way. A good job by Cone. Lopez now will step in with one gone. Lopez has grounded out, and then he walked back at the 6th, so he's officially 0 for 1, batting 174. Yankees 2, the Mets 1. Soho up with it, and to Martinez, 2 gone. Beezer will move to 3rd. Hey, Seinfeld fans, everybody knows George Costanza works for the New York Yankees, and we all know who his boss is. Tonight at 11, George learns the way to his boss's heart is through his stomach. But when George's antics ban him from the boss's favorite deli, you won't believe what he'll do to keep lunch coming. Find out tonight only on 11, the WB 11. 114 pitches now for David Cone. And Lance Johnson swings, fouls the first pitch out of play. He's 0 for 3. Cone has struck out 11 Mets. And with 2 outs here in the 8th inning, 9th inning coming on, guess who starts to loosen up for the Yankees in their bullpen? Rivera begins his routine.
See, David Cone has gone to the full windup, and last 2 pitchers, Beezer has tried to give him the fake steal of home, trying to distract Cone.
And you called it. Cone has balked Beezer in, so whatever Beezer was doing, it worked. And John Shulock immediately makes the call. Here comes David Cone, and here comes Joe Torre.
You know why, Bobby? David tried to change his delivery. He started with his hands together because of what Beezer was doing at 3rd base. Changed his delivery. Shulock noticed it, called the ball.
Now we'll go through all the explanation from Cone, from Torre, and also from Girardi.
After the first time I saw Beezer come down the line, I said, you really, if you're David Cone, you want to go from the windup. Don't let that guy at 3rd base distract you. He didn't. It forced the ball. See, Shulock's trying to explain it now, Bobby. What he did differently.
Cone trying to explain it.
But after the first time I noticed it, I said, you know what? Instead of having to change your delivery and start differently, just go in the stretch. And it makes it easier. You take that out of play. That cannot be on your mind with 2 outs, a 1-run lead in the 8th inning. See, Cone, his attention now is at the runner at 3rd base. Look, he paused over his head. That's a balk. Once you start your delivery, you can't stop.
Yeah.
But that's because Beezer's at 3rd base. His focus was away from the hitter onto the base runner, causing the balk.
Yep.
Now, this is the last time he caused the balk, but it really was set up by the previous 2 pitches. Look at his focus. He's now at the runner at 3rd base. And just like that, you have a 2-2 ball game. Mets, 2 hits, 2 runs off of David Cone.
Now things change in baseball. 2 gone and a 2-2 tie. Johnson goes to a 1-2 count on him. Where David Cone was so focused through 6 innings. And the pinch runner Beezer breaks that concentration as he gets Cone to balk him in. Line in the left field, coming on is Whitten. And the Mets are gone, but a productive inning for the New York Mets. They pick up a run on the leadoff double, same as they did in the 7th inning. Runs in the 7th and the 8th have tied it. We go to the bottom of the 8th, 2-2.
Back to Yankee Stadium, a frustrated David Cone. 2-2. Let's take a look. We'll go back. Watch Beezer right down here. This is the pitch before the balk. That's what I was talking about. Cone still hasn't released the ball. Look at all the dancing. And that is a distraction for a starter, especially a right-handed pitcher, because you're facing that batter. that base runner. Frustration on the face of David Cone, but what a ball game. 2-2 game, a little controversy. A balk. You look at Alfonso, the new third baseman for the Mets. Well, we've had our share of everything today, Bobby.
We certainly have. Acevedo will be facing Cecil Fielder here at the bottom of the 8th inning. Almost hits him with the first pitch. Well, I hope this game is not decided by the umpiring crew. And Stottlemyre talking to David Cone, but it was obvious that Cone did balk. I mean, I don't think an umpire would call a balk unless it's really obvious. And it's a 1-1 count now to Cecil.
Now that was obvious, the balk, but the home run down the right field line wasn't as obvious as you look at Greg McMichael.
And that could prove to be a run that would break the camel's back.
You see Mel and David going over. Probably saying that if you saw that first pitch and he distracted you, probably should have just went to the stretch, and then you take that play out of mind.
Cecil 1 for 3. The home run, a hanging breaking ball foul back out of play. This is Beezer. Take a look at this again.
That was the actual balk.
Yeah.
Not as much dancing, but it was already in Cone's mind. He actually started a little different on the mound. He wanted to pause just in case Beezer was actually thinking about stealing home.
I thought it was two types of different approaches to delivering the ball towards home plate. Fielder strikes out, one gone.
And really now the Met fans are getting louder as this game has gone on.
You don't normally see that type of a mistake from a veteran pitcher like David Cone.
And what you'd like to see from the New York Yankees is that his teammates pick him up right now. Somebody go leave the yard. A Tino Martinez home run. That's what he wants. He's pitched great his last 2 ball games and nothing to show for it.
Well, the Yankees got him 1 run in his last start in the 9th inning, and it was that one mistake pitch that with 2 outs to Alou that tied the game. So no decision there as Martinez takes one outside again. It's 2-0. So guys like Martinez, when you get to 2-0, you got to look for something you could drive out of this ballpark here in the 8th inning. And he does. High and not deep enough in the right field. He just missed it. 2 gone.
See, all those home runs earlier in the year. That ball early in the year, the bat's just a hair quicker. He's getting it out in front. See it. Look at it, right down the middle. 21 home runs on the year, and that should have been number 22.
Yeah. Just a little bit in front. And with 2 gone, Wade Boggs steps in. Boggs 2 for 3 with a double.
If you're Boggs, here's 2 outs, nobody on. He did it earlier in the ball game, 4th inning. Go ahead and look for the extra base. He very rarely comes out of that little cocoon that he calls it. But go ahead and try to pull a ball here.
Inside and low, ball 2-0. So Acevedo has been behind the last 2 batters.
Well, if you've ever seen Boggs in batting practice, he launches them in the upper deck. Go ahead and unbutton the collar right here.
That's a check swing grounder left side. Lopez up with it. Easy inning for Acevedo and the New York Mets here in the 8th. Yankees go 1, 2, 3. Stay with us. We've got a game on WB11 that is exciting, but it looks like David Cone is gone and Stanton will come in. We'll be baseball is sponsored by Toyota and your local Toyota dealer. Toyota, I love what you do for me. And by Bell Atlantic local and regional toll calling plan. Bell Atlantic, the heart of communications. And by Budweiser, who salutes America's responsible drinkers. And by GMC and your tri-state GMC dealers. Yankees 2, the New York Mets 2. Here in the top of the 9th inning, Mike Stanton will come on to pitch for the Yankees.
Mike Stanton, 28th appearance, 2-0 on the season. He is just getting better and better. Only 13 hits allowed in 23 innings. League hitting right around 155 against Mike Stanton. That's pretty good.
Bernard Gilkey will lead it off. He'll be followed by Olerud and then Hundley. So the Mets, who have produced their runs in the 7th and the 8th inning to tie this game, will bat here in the 9th. And David Cone, who had a no-hitter all the way through the 6th inning before giving up the leadoff hit to Olerud, is gone, and with no chance of winning. A couple of controversial plays have played a part so far in this game. And now it's 2-0 to Gilkey. And this capacity crowd, which is on their feet and very boisterous and loud with Olerud on deck, has really quietened down here in the 9th inning. Now Stanton has fallen behind 3-0. Ball 4 pitches, 4 balls, and Gilkey is on. So he represents the go-ahead run. This will bring up John Olerud, who broke up the no-hitter back in the 7th, so he's 1 for 2. With some key hits in this 3-game series. Driving in 3 runs in Friday night game as the Mets shut out the Yankees 6-0. And Gilkey just underneath the tag.
Good move by Stanton. Thing with Olerud, he hasn't been hitting left-handers good this year. 247 on the season. The thing you have to watch out with Olerud, he likes to jump you the first pitch. Remember, that was his characteristic with the Blue Jays. He likes to get all over that first fastball he sees.
And another throw back to first. Well, we'll see if the National League style of baseball comes into play here. Nobody out, but do you want to take the bat out of Olerud's hands and leave it up to Hundley or Barrierga, both switch hitters, so they can turn around and bat right-handed against Stanton?
I think if you bunt Olerud here, which I don't think they will, they'll just walk Hundley to set up the double play to Barrierga. You want Olerud to try to pull that ball if you can.
And he does. Martinez to Jeter for 1. Jeter couldn't get the ball out of his glove, but he does in time. He had a little bit of trouble. So a nice play by Derek Jeter, and the Yankees turned the double play.
One hopper right back to Tino. Good throw by Tino. They had a tough time getting the ball out of the glove and avoiding Gilkey sliding in. See, watch, he just has to move himself out of the way, and really you could call a double play automatic right now, but you have the rookie umpire at first base in Mike Everett. That guy is way out of the line at second base. You got to be able to reach the bag, and there is no way that you can get to the bag from where Gilkey was.
That's a good call. They didn't see it, and Hundley will step in and bat from the right side with 2 gone. You have to be able to touch the bag or be within the vicinity of the bag when you're trying to break the double play up.
I might be picking on the wrong guy. Maybe it's Tim Tashida's called the second base umpire, but he was way away from second base. Watch where Gilkey slides. Tino gets the throw. Look at Gilkey. You got to be able to get to the bag. He's going to follow Jeter into the outfield. Look at this. Come on. That is ridiculous.
Besides that, Gilkey tried to get in the way. You saw him go inside. He wanted to get in the way of the throw. That's where he thought the throw was going.
Didn't hurt the Yankees. They were still able to turn the double play. But it's getting a little, this is not an exhibition game, folks. These guys are taking it mighty serious.
sends it high into the air right field. O'Neill puts it away. So the Mets, with that leadoff walk, don't produce anything. It's 2-2. And it will be the bottom of the ninth inning, and the Yankees will be coming up. Stay with us. And that play, the double play by the Yankees, Gilkey way out of the baseline. Bottom of the ninth inning, all tied at 2. Let's take a look at the game summary brought to you by the Tri-State Jeep and Eagle dealer. Not a whole lot on the board, but the Curtis home run put the Yankees in front in the third, and Fielder made it 2-0 with his solo shot in the fourth inning. Then the Yankees came back. I've checked that the Mets came back in the seventh and the eighth inning with RBIs, and the Cone balk to tie this game at 2. Bottom of the ninth inning, capacity crowd on hand. It's the largest crowd in the three-game series for a three-game series in rebuilt Yankee Stadium. Take a look at those numbers. You think interleague play is not working? It's working here in New York. A total of 168,719 for 3 games.
Yeah, they surpassed the 1978, that series, the Red Sox. Remember 1978, the Red Sox, late September came in here.
And you know what? They've gotten their money's worth.
Oh, they sure have, and it's not over yet.
Despite what happens, they've gotten their money's worth. And Acevedo pitches to Whitten, leading off here in the ninth inning. Whitten with power from the left side. He's 0 for 2 with a walk. Well, what a job Acevedo has done since being recalled just today. Finds himself in the pressure cooker, and it will be him that at this point decides the bragging rights in New York.
Yeah,
he would have never known this was going to happen.
He hasn't even had time to think about it. Gets off the plane.
Maybe that's good.
You know what I mean? And he's, hey, what is this Subway Series? What's this all about? Well, it's about 170,000 fans.
Throws that fastball by Whitten up and in. 2-2 now. The count on Whitten.
Hey, you look back to the seventh inning, bottom of the seventh for the Yankees after Jeter's hit and run double, second and third, 1 out. He strikes out Soho and then gets Paul O'Neill on the weak ground ball back to the mound. So he's done a tremendous job.
Down low, 3-2 now to Whitten. So the Yankees would like to get their leadoff batter on here in the ninth inning. On deck is Curtis, and then Girardi will follow Curtis. Well, the Yankee left-handed batters, they're going to have to dial it up a notch or two. They're a little bit behind this fastball.
Acevedo right around 95 miles an hour with that hard slider and the forkball. You look at Chad Curtis on deck. If Whitten would get on, you would think the little ball would come into play, try to bunt him over.
Up high, ball 4. So the Yankees have the winning run on first base.
And you look at Joe Torre telling, hey, if he walks, we're going to try to bunt him over maybe. I doubt if you play hit and run again. He went to that well once with Jeter and he was able to produce, but I think if you're Chad Curtis, tough guy, throws hard. Acevedo, probably the most difficult guy to bunt off of, is a hard thrower.
Pacing in the Mets dugout, and the Yankees electing to keep Whitten. I thought maybe there would be a pinch runner come out, but Whitten will stay on at first and Curtis will step in. We'll see what he does. And the old trick throw. Acevedo darn near threw it away. That would have really been costly.
And one of the things, yeah, Olerud made a nice play. One of the things, Keith Hernandez, remember that name? Well, he's a special instructor for the Mets in spring training. He really worked with Olerud on charging bunts. Remember Hernandez? How many times do you remember Keith Hernandez looked like he was right on top of the batter, fielding the bunt, getting the force out at second? Watch the play by Olerud. He's going to fake forward and then, hey, way go up in the air to make the play.
Here comes the charging Mets. It's bunted perfectly to Olerud. Perfect sacrifice bunt by Curtis. Quinton moves into second.
And Olerud right on top of Curtis, but unbelievable bunt by Curtis. Look at this. First bunt since July of '96. But look at where Olerud was fielding that ball. Makes the play at first.
And I mean, Olerud was flying down the line. So a nice job by Curtis. He shows that he's got power with a home run in this game, and he shows also he's got the delicacy of being able to bunt the ball perfectly. That's Bob Apodaca out to make a pitching change. So with the winning run down at second base, the Mets go to their bullpen. We'll be back right after this. Back at the stadium, bottom of the ninth inning, one out. The winning run down at second base. We're all tied at 2. But let's go back to the 8th inning. This is the reason why we are tied.
Steve Beazer pinch running at third base. The fake. The balk by David Cone. Cone can't believe it. That made it a 2-2 ball game. Joe Girardi, the disgusted look.
And that was broken concentration on David Cone. He gets nothing out of it. A no-hitter through 6, but the Yankees with a chance here in the 9th inning to win it. Girardi against McMichael. And a little tapper left side. McMichael takes a look at third and finally goes to first to throw out Girardi, and there's 2 gone. And that'll bring up Derek Jeter.
Nice play by Greg McMichael. A little over anxious maybe by Joe Girardi, swinging at the first pitch. As you look at McMichael's numbers, crowd is on its feet. Nice play.
Fantastic crowd. Greg McMichael pitched last night, and Derek Jeter will probably be the hero of this Subway Series here in the 9th inning with 2 outs. Not only are the players on their toes right now, but so are the fans. They know that one pitch could do it. And it's strike 1 to Jeter.
Jeter really found his stroke the last 2 nights. 3 hits last night with 2 RBIs. And today another couple of hits, single and a double.
Had a little bit of trouble driving runners in and scoring position. Got a chance to break that now. And that's foul left side, and it's an 0-2 count on Jeter.
Yeah, the fans are on their feet. Bobby Valentine's on his feet. The infielders, the outfield, and even the broadcasters are on their toes. This is exciting. This is why interleague play came about, to see the Yankees and the Mets play.
This is for bragging rights. Big bragging rights. And that pitch misses outside. Ball 1-1-2. And like you said, you notice Jeter kind of leans out and comes back again, like he's diving out.
But how can this kid be sleeping? Come on, you're missing history here.
1-2, 2 away. Winning run down at third. And another pitch low outside.
Right about now, it starts to go back in Jeter's hands. Joe McIlvaney's pointing it out, saying, okay, this is what we're going to do here. There's GM. He's still sitting there. And so is Joe Torre.
And a little side action. Ball gets away from Hundley, but not far enough for Quinton to advance.
I tell you, Bobby, I cannot remember a crowd being into it like this. Every pitch, the oohs and the ahs, and a great job by Todd Hundley. That changeup way out in front of the plate. Got good angle on the ball, though. Watch the angle, and watch Witten in the background. He reads it in the dirt, 3 steps. But you really can't tell how far away that ball is from Hundley.
Great job by Hundley to save the game on that pitch. And job well done, according to Bobby Valentine, rightfully so. Greg McMichael, who pitched for the Atlanta Braves, is familiar with the crowd here at Yankee Stadium, of course, in that World Championship Series with Atlanta. And Jeter pops it up into right field. Everett puts it away. And we're going to go to extra innings here at Yankee Stadium. We're going to decide the bragging rights here in New York. And so stay with us as we go to the top of the 10th, all tied at 2. And Stanton will be pitching for the Yankees. And Joe Girardi is the focal point. And we'll go back to the 5th inning. Joe Girardi against Reed as he sends one down the right field line. And this particular ball was called a home run by the first base umpire, Everett. Valentine went out to argue, and he reversed the call after the umpiring crew got together to discuss it. And believe it or not, that is the difference in this game, and that's the reason we're in the 10th inning. How about that? Girardi later grounded out, so he got a big offer for it. And this is Carlos Baerga in the 10th inning leading off. Foul ball off the foot of Baerga. So Baerga, who's 0 for 3. That old foul ball off the foot music will get your attention. The pitch coming down and in, and you just slap it right on the either the top of the foot or that shin. Not this time. Nice hop for ball. And he throws out Baerga, 1 gone.
Yeah, Carlos is probably mad right now saying he didn't have bigger feet. Maybe he would hit another one off his foot and he'd still be hitting. That time he gets it out in front, hooks at the 3rd, and he
got a big gold chain. That was a huge gold chain. That'll bring up Butch Husky, the designated hitter. You see Husky 0 for 3. Well, the Mets only have 2 base hits of the game, and they were quality hits. One of them was a balk that balked the run in from 3rd that tied the game up, but only 2 hits and 2 runs. That was John Franco in the Met bullpen. Field coming on is Whitten, and a nice shoestring catch by Whitten. So Whitten takes a base hit away from Husky. 2 away here at the 10th.
Nice play by Whitten. Read it off the bat and just got it before it hit the ground. Concentration. Big glove in the outfield.
So Mark Whitten, who started the season on the bench. Edgardo Alfonzo will hit with 2 gone. That'll bring up Stottlemyre. Obviously out to probably discuss Alfonzo, since this is his first at bat in this series.
One of the guys that wasn't supposed to play this series, so this really Mel Stottlemyre just going over with Girardi and Stanton on how do you want to pitch Edgardo Alfonzo. Quick, direct, just talk to Stanton about his strengths and weaknesses. That's what pitchers and catchers really want to know. Where does he handle the ball the best, and where can you get him out?
Alfonzo, the regular 3rd baseman, as we mentioned, he has been hurt, so Valentine not trying to take any chances with him, but forced to play him in this extra inning game. 303 hitter, 4 home runs, and 24 RBIs. Fallen behind 2-0.
Well, everybody raves about Alfonso. He uses the whole field to hit. Comes to play every day. There is no one easy way to defend him.
Now he's fallen behind 3-0. On deck is Carl Everett.
Sometimes you think long, you think wrong. Maybe that little.
And that's outside, ball 4. So Alfonso is on. Or is that a strike? No. Well, he fooled Alfonso. Alfonso, when he pointed to first base, he thought he was pointing like it was a strike. So Alfonso, with 5 stolen bases on the year, will be on at first.
Yeah, just watch Shulak behind the plate. Ball's just off the plate away. Alfonso thinks it's a strike. And then you now see, he can't tell if that's called strike by Shulak, but no, he was pointing to first base. I don't think Mel went out to the mound to say pitch around Alfonso. I just think he missed close pitches.
Just reminding him. And they also remind him that Alfonso has some speed at first. And Everett 0 for 3. And that's a ball outside. So that's 5 balls in a row thrown by Stanton. There's a lot of thinking going on now, both benches. And the crowd is quieting down. Believe it or not, here in the 10th inning, almost everybody is still here. And this 56,000 plus crowd, few have left. And now it's 6 in a row for Stanton. He can't find the strike zone.
Maybe some of the fans are exhausted. A lot of highs and lows in this ball game. Motion has been on a roller coaster all day long, but they are still here because it has not been decided.
It will be bragging rights for somebody. Foul back and out of play.
Straight back too, Bobby. 2-0 fastball. Everett got the fastball, hit it straight back. Do the forkball grip. Always starts with the forkball grip, but then he can adjust to whatever he really wants. You look at Girardi, he's going to go with the forkball here.
Down low, ball 3, 3-1. Luis Lopez on deck. And there's 2 outs here in the top of the 10th. And a base hit for Everett. Alfonso will stop at second. The ball gets away from Curtis. Alfonso will go to third, and Everett will go to second. So a base hit and an error on the center fielder. And the Mets have the go-ahead run at third.
A base hit, 3-1 fastball to center field. Curtis just took his eye off the baseball. Was watching the runner at second base and puts 2 runners in the scoring position.
And that'll bring up Lopez. Lopez 0 for 2 with a walk. Only a 167 hitter. As the tension mounts here in the 10th inning with 2 gone, 2 men on for the New York Mets. And it's down low for a ball.
Boy, ever since the meeting with Stottlemyre on the mound, Stanton has lost his rhythm. He has been all over the strike zone.
Stanton got the first 2 outs real quick, and then he walked Alfonso. The base hit to Everett. Here we are. And that's foul back and out of play. Only 3 hits for the Mets, but they've produced 2 runs.
There's Brooklyn-born John Franco, St. John's University. He's dying to get into this ball game.
Well, you know, if Franco comes in, the Mets are going to be ahead most of the time. And on the ground right side, Soho throws over to Martinez. Lopez is gone. 2 men are left on. Some excitement in the 10th inning for the Mets, but no harm done as far as the Yankees are concerned. Come back. We're going to go to the bottom of the 10th. All tied. Well, back at the stadium, all tied up at 2. Bottom of the 10th inning. And the Yankees will be sitting up against McMichael. Soho will lead it off, followed by O'Neill and then Fielder. Most of the fans are still here, and rightfully so. A lot at stake here between the Mets and the Yankees as far as New York is concerned, and as far as the season is concerned too. These games count towards the regular season, and Soho will lead it off. He is 1 for 3. Almost a hush has come across Yankee Stadium. Ball 1 to Soho. Well, you got to go back to that blocked ball in the dirt by Randy Hundley with the winning run on third base back in the last inning, and we're going to get a, I don't know if that, what is that?
Makeshift telephone?
Oh.
How's that for a guess?
A foul at home plate. I thought maybe that was like a ticker tape or something that they were looking at.
That was Mark Clark. Yeah, look, Bobby, remember you mentioned earlier about Monday night runners in scoring position. 0 for 9 Monday. Last night they did a good job. 0 for 11, excuse me, 5 for 12 last night, and then 0 for 6 today. Not a whole lot of opportunities on either side.
Well, but look at the Mets. They only have 3 hits, but they've produced 2 runs. And it's a 2-ball, 1-strike count to Soho. Now it's 3-1. Nobody warming up for the Mets. So that means O'Neill will get a chance to hit against McMichael. Looks like Soho was taking all away on that 3-1. Now it's 3-2.
Yeah, you don't see that very often. 3-1 hitters are hacking, but Soho knows the situation, was hoping for a walk, and still has a big strike left.
Hit hard, but Lopez is up with it. Over to Olerud, there's 1 gone.
We just found out in interleague play, Baltimore, Montreal, Jimmy Key had a no-hitter through 5 innings, but it was broken up by Sherman Obando, former Baltimore Oriole. And the Montreal Expos lead 1-0.
I don't know how they do it, but Montreal, with all the people that they lose, quality players that they lose every year, they seem to stay right in the hunt.
Tremendous farm system. They just keep reproducing young talent.
And Paul O'Neill, 1 for 4. Check that 0 for 3 with a walk. And that's foul back and out of play. Well, Valentine looking at the 3 men coming up. You've got 2 right-handers and 1 left-hander kind of wedged in there. If you're looking at the 3, if one guy gets on, if the Yankees don't hit into a double play, that means Martinez will get a shot. Problem from a hitter standpoint, you've got to make sure that you don't try to overswing and try to end it with 1 swing. A lot of times when you're trying to hit a home run, you'll overswing, you'll be way out in front, and you end up mostly swinging against yourself.
You get a little bit longer and a little slower. The tendency for hitters too, they try to be the hero. Guys come out of their element a little bit, try to hit more home runs in extra inning ball games.
1 ball, 1 strike count to O'Neill. 1 gone here in the bottom of the 10th.
McMichael's been falling behind the Yankee hitters, but he's still been able to use his off-speed pitching. He's got a very good changeup. Fastball's not overpowering, but that changeup is in the back of the hitter's mind. Makes the fastball look a little bit faster.
Well, McMichael went from the side that time, misses low and inside. So it's a 3-1 count to O'Neill with Fielder on deck.
That was that tumbling changeup, and wouldn't surprise me here, even though it's 3-1 count, to see another changeup. You don't want to give O'Neill a fastball in this situation. He's going to go with the fastball away.
And O'Neill fouls it back and out of play.
Got the 3-1 fastball, but he kept it on the outside part of the plate. Now he showed him the changeup. He showed him the fastball 3-1. You come back with the changeup, or you stay fastball. Oh, Todd's going to hide the sign. So, oh, he's going to go fastball in.
And it's too far inside, so O'Neill draws a walk. But 1 out here in the 10th. That'll bring up Cecil Fielder.
Let's look at the pitching sequence to O'Neill. Changeup, he fouls off. Slider inside, misses. Fastball misses down and away. Changeup misses. Fastball on the outside part of the plate, and now back inside 3-2, just misses with the fastball.
And O'Neill looking out over the plate. He was jumping out there.
I liked what I saw from Hundley. He was looking at Paul O'Neill's eyes.
Yeah.
You want to see if they're peeking sometimes.
Fielder will get a chance to hit with O'Neill on. Fielder's hit a home run already. And a strike 1 to Fielder.
Sometimes you look for too much, Bobby. There's a fastball, middle of the plate, belt high. Sometimes you start guessing and looking for too much. I always thought you had to hit off the fastball. Hit off that fastball and adjust everything else.
Inside and high for a ball, 1-1.
I just hate it to be looking for something else, and then you take a good fastball to hit. Certain times you could. Remember earlier in the game I mentioned Cecil hit a home run on a good fastball off Rick Reed. Well, go ahead and look for a curveball the next at bat.
Fastball driven into right field, base hit. O'Neill's got eyes to go to third. He's going to third. Everett's throw is not in time. Yankees have runners at first and third, only 1 out.
Boy, nice piece of hitting by Cecil Fielder. Not just a big brute. He saw the hole between first and second and shot the ball the other way. Look at this. Took advantage of the big hole between first and second, and then excellent hustle by O'Neill. Let's watch O'Neill. Reads the base hit. He knows where the ball is. And he is going as hard as he can, and the ball just happens to hit him in the back. Another look at O'Neill. This time we're going to pick up.
And you got the dugout making their reaction as O'Neill makes it to third. Oh, a nice piece of hitting, though, by Cecil Fielder. And that's where he took his home run, was to the opposite field. That was a big hole between first and second. We're going to have a pinch runner going in for Cecil. Kelly came out of the dugout, ran to third like he was going to run for O'Neill, and then they said, no, you went to the wrong base. Go back to first and run for Cecil. So Cecil is gone. Kelly is in to run for him. And Tino Martinez will be the batter.
You got Johnny Franco warming up in the Mets bullpen. He's ready. It looks like Valentine might be calling upon John Franco in this situation. A couple of ways you can play it. You could load the bases and and go after Boggs, the on-deck hitter. But Torrey does have a bench full of right-handers in Hayes and Duncan and Posada.
Well,
Big discussion time, Bobby.
Yeah, game's on the line. I mean, this is it. This is it. Normally, you would walk the bases loaded and give a chance to force the runner at home if the ball's not hit hard enough to complete the double play. Give you an option to do what would be a percentage play for you.
The only thing with him staying right here and bringing Franco in without having McMichael walk the bases loaded, I think he's going to go after Franco with the two left-hand batters in a row, Martinez and Boggs.
Well, tense times here at Yankee Stadium for bragging rights, and the kid from New York finally gets a chance to pitch in his Subway Series. He's coming in here in the bottom of the 10th. Game on the
third. Pat Kelly at first, and John Franco. An opportunity to pitch right here at Yankee Stadium. 5th all-time on the saves list. This has been exciting. Doesn't get much better than this.
And this is not a usual situation for John Franco. Normally he would be calm, cool, and collected in this situation. First time ever for him in New York in a game that counts at Yankee Stadium. So this has got to be a difficult emotional situation for him too.
Good changeup from Franco. A lot of ground balls.
And the first pitch from Franco in there for a call strike.
Another thing, Bobby, I noticed
Just
the
what you were
outfielders
talking about.
Yep. I noticed the outfielders are playing awful deep. Fly ball. They're going to have a tough time throwing out the runner at home plate.
Good point. They are awfully deep with the winning run in third base and less than 2 out. Full foul to right side, and Franco out in front 0-2 on Martinez. We mentioned Boggs, the other left-handed bat on deck. I think Tino got the best pitch he's going to get in this sequence of pitches. The first pitch he wasn't ready to swing. I think he was looking for a little bit too much. I mean, there you see it, 2-2, 1 out here in the 10th inning. Fastball missing outside, 1-2. Well, Tino has been there before, and you can see that he has done a good job in that late inning pressure situation. Winning run there at third. That's the only run to count. And the ball is driven down to the left field line, and it'll fall in. O'Neill will come on to score the winning run, and the Yankees win it 3-2. Bragging rights for the New York Yankees in this Subway Series, and it has been exciting. Extra innings for the New York Yankees, and Tino Martinez one more time in late inning pressure game comes through for the New York Yankees.
The crowd has been into this ball game all day long. A roller coaster affair, and it's won by the New York Yankees. 10 innings, 3-2. Tino Martinez struggling of late. Valentine made the right move, brought in Franco, pitched to Martinez. He fought off the fastball, hit it down the left field line. The Yankees win the ball game.
Well, when you get into a game like this, you go to your best, and it ended up that way here in the 10th inning. With John Franco, it was their best coming out of the bullpen in a crucial situation. Paul O'Neill, one of the Yankees' best at third, and then Tino Martinez, who has been absolutely fabulous in late innings. And Tino came into this game with a slump. He was 0 for 17. He was 0 for 21 before that game-winning hit in left field. How about that?
And Bobby, the first hit the Yankees have had with a runner in scoring position today, and it comes in the bottom of the 10th. 1-2 pitch. Oh, pretty good fastball away from Tino. Didn't try to pull it. Gilkey gives it a shot, and you know he's got a great throwing arm. O'Neill's kind of caught in between. He goes back to tag up, but he scores the winning run. An exciting game. The fans of New York have been waiting for this for a long time. Franco's reaction, just walks off the mound. He's been waiting a long time to pitch at Yankee Stadium. It's not the way you wanted to remember this.
Hey, if you didn't have a chance to come to Yankee Stadium and you watched it here on the WB11, you've got to be excited about what happened here in New York in this Subway Series. First time in the history that the Yankees and the Mets have hooked it up in a regular season game for something that meant something for each ball club. And the intensity the last 3 days, I don't know what's going to happen to these two teams tomorrow. They probably will just fall flat on their faces because you know there's going to be a big letdown.